Well, there goes the Daverhood. Good morning, everybody. Whew. Welcome. Bright and early, up with the chickens, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, here comes. I caught them both. That's pretty good. You're gonna open a new? No, you're not gonna open a new pack, are you? Okay, go open a new pack. It's a 4-chicken day.
What's behind you?
The wall.
No, the wall. 2 people walking in this.
Isn't that pretty? I took it out of the latest issue of AARP magazine because if you can believe it, I've been an AARP member for a decade now. I'm 60 years old, and they were already sending me literature when I was 49. So, oops.
The chicken, they're very sticky. The new ones are sticky.
Sticky chickens.
Oh, this thinks it's a chicken.
Oh, this is. I dropped it. Can you? Thank you very much. Yeah. Can you tell which is not like the other? Oh, Pooey! Hey, Pooey! We're all here. The gang's all here. Here's Pooey. Hey, Pooh. Love you. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Dave's Gone By with all my appliances and accoutrements. Here. What would be the? Oh, the difference is one is red, one is purple. It is the same implement. This. Oh, actually, this is about time. It really is about time I gave Pooey a good brushing.
First, take his temperature.
Oh well, which way? There actually is. Should we go there?
No, give him his antibacterial shot.
Oh, oops. We got it. Okay, it's not going to hurt much. Okay.
Take out the corn.
What is this?
Take out the corn.
Here's the thing. I need to take the corn.
Now see if he's feeling better after.
Oh, hold on. I gotta get the corn out. It's a delicate procedure here.
Okay. Now check out his.
All right, here we go.
Listen to it. See how he feels. If he feels better.
All right, just give me.
Oh, it's backward, honey.
Oh no. Is it? Oh, oops. Yeah.
See that fake medical that insignia has to be in front. No,
this doesn't actually work. It doesn't.
Pooey, not you.
Oh, all right. Hold on. Here we go.
Is he doing better?
Let me see.
Wait. Oh,
what?
Wait a second.
What?
Hold on. Okay, wait.
Oh. So. Wait. So, Pooey, why were you complaining before? Because I feel shitty. Yeah, that's a little Pooey joke. Yeah, this is the program, ladies and gentlemen. It's called Dave's Gone By, and we've been doing this. Why we've been doing this, I don't know, but we have been doing this for 21 plus years in different ways. Yeah. Well, what else? What do you need?
I gave you the word of the day, but I have to look it up for you.
Yeah, I haven't. Okay, so let me explain, and then when I give the signal, it'll be time for you to share the word of the day for this episode of Dave's Gone By, because we do a couple of different things. That's me. Wow. I'm looking pretty snazzy, I think.
It looks on the air. It looks almost like a royal blue. Look at it.
Yeah, it pops.
But look how royal blue it looks. It looks very.
Yeah, this is more faded in real life, and it has more oomph on camera.
It looks like cobalt blue. That's so pretty.
Ooh. Well, it is. It's weird. I can put on a shirt that looks great in person, and you put it on camera, it's like, and then other things that look nice in person, but nothing really special. And this really pops when the lens hits it, which is kind of nice. But I'm Dave Lefkowitz, by the way. I haven't mentioned this. Dave Lefkowitz, that's my darling and adorable wife, Joyce. And we are doing the, why am I wearing these? The Dave's Gone By Facebookio Podcastio Programmio of the stream. And it is our 939th episode. There's the 9, there's the 39. Yeah, because we've been doing them once a week with some breaks here and there since 2002. And what it is a mix of humor and talk and culture and goofiness and nonsense and craziness and occasional flying chicken. And
Mark just gave you a
oh my God, Judy, how you doing? Ask her to if you message her, tell us if she's doing some cabaret. Oh, okay. Well, hello, Judy Mark. She's a friend of the Daverhood.
She likes your picture of you and the ribeye.
Who wouldn't?
So does Michael Oskins.
Oh, thank you, Michael.
They
Yeah.
like that picture.
I don't know if they like me or they like what's behind me.
I think they want you to take them to barbecue.
I like somebody to take me to more barbecue places.
We'll go tonight if you want.
Yes, yes. It's become this running. It's not so much a joke. It's just a running bit
No, it's
on
not,
this program.
It's not a bit. It's something you enjoy. I don't think
It's a running aspect of my life that Mission Barbecue is this local chain. It's not so local anymore. They're opening all over, but they do. Let's call it reasonably priced barbecued meats.
No, tell them how they got you hooked.
How they got me hooked.
Yeah. Your origin story.
Well, they start with heroin and then they wean me onto meat.
But you always hate going shopping with me, but I need consistency. That's part of my makeup.
So we go to the same supermarket week after week after week.
And I was like, why don't you try this barbecue place? People told me it's good.
Yeah, and it's called Mission BBQ. Mission, there it is, Mission Barbecue. This is going back several
got your
months.
Gold sticker yet?
They should have a loyalty program. That's the one thing they don't.
I'm sure they should. Yeah.
But if you put your name on their email list, you do get the occasional coupon or free dessert, which is nice.
Yeah.
So Mission and you get a free sandwich on your birthday, and that's actually pretty neat. I've used that, and somehow I've managed to have 17 birthdays over the course of a year.
Okay, so it's both places. Good.
So we tried Mission Barbecue, and they have this thing called the Black Plate, and I've said this so many times on the air, but I'll read.
No, say how they got you hooked. How they.
It was the Black Plate, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, the story.
This is how they lured you in.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm shopping, for clothing, which you don't enjoy. I was like, why?
What man enjoys clothing shopping? Yeah.
Why don't you just?
Yeah. Why don't you try? Joyce says, why don't you go in and see what they've got? You love barbecue. You love ribs. You love. Check it out. And in Colorado, we used to go to a place called Nordy's, and Joyce would be a good sport because she's vegetarian and cannot. She used to eat meat, but she hasn't for many, many years. So, she'll schlep with me or our friends would go to Nordy's once a month or something like that, and I'd get my fill. Yeah. All right. Yeah. After the show, I'm not gonna deal with a hot water heater right now.
For your show.
But I go in there, and I'm looking, and it's one of these places that doesn't have a big menu or they don't have a takeout. They just have
you
on
said
the board.
You just got in there and you were like, oh, you were overwhelmed by the smell of barbecue.
Yes, I was.
So you were standing there in some sort of food-induced coma.
Yeah.
And you didn't know what to get.
Drool.
And you said you were looking, and you were like, I don't know what I should get. And then you saw the foodies.
Well, the main thing was they had ribs, but they had baby back ribs or spare ribs.
Yeah.
And I kind of knew the difference, but I wasn't really sure.
And then we'll show the video too.
Yeah, go show the menu.
I'm getting your video.
So, and this is going back a few months, but so I look on the thing. It's baby back right here. This is. I'll tell the story in a minute. But this is.
Tell the origin story. I like it.
Well, then save this for.
You hold up your hand. You have to just put it down.
All right, it'll go away though. I'll have to re-input the password. But so I'm standing there, looking like this at the board, like.
Would you trying to get food off people's plates?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Did you say, "Pardon me, but can I please have that rib"?
Can I see the dumpster behind you? If anybody's, I can lick any sauce.
I know that they called me because you tried to climb the smoker truck.
I did. You thought it'd be dangerous because I go in there and I literally smoke my own arm and then start to eat it.
No, that you were trying to open the door and get foodies, as they said. Well, you were screaming, "Me want food."
Me want food. Me want. But it's very nice. They have a lot of young student people working there, as well as some military veterans, because the whole place is kind of for first responders and veterans too. It's got an American U.S.-owned military vibe in the whole place, which is fine. I'm pro-American. It's great. So I'm standing there and I ask this kid. I say, so I definitely want to order something, but I don't know what's the difference between baby back ribs and spare ribs. And he said, well, let me bring out baby back, and one is meat on the bone, is some, and he brings out a bone with meat on it.
Food.
A sample.
But it was like a sample size or real size?
Well, no. In other words, you have a rib. It's just bones with meat on them.
Oh, yeah.
So you order three. You can order 3 bones together, 5 bones. You can order a half rack, a full rack. So this is a bone with meat, but a baby back. And he says, "Here, try it. Try it," says the pusher. Try,
It
take
won't
one
hurt.
hit,
It won't hurt. Just take the one.
Yeah, just here's a little bag of
And
wheat.
you liked it, yeah?
Yeah, I liked it very much.
Okay, and then what happened?
And then I asked him, I said, okay, and I was all ready to order like 20 pounds of baby back ribs. I was all ready to just go, But, so I said, okay, but just tell me, what is the difference between this and a baby back, and a spare rib? And he said, well, spare ribs are more of a Chinese, like you get in the Chinese restaurant. It's just different. It's just, baby back is like the big, thick meat on the bone of meat, and the other's pork on the.
Which was the one you got last time that looked like it was a slab altogether?
That was baby back, yeah. And I said, and he said, well, try the spare rib. And I said, yes, I shall. Yes, I will. And he brought out a bone of a spare rib, which actually was just as good, but it's a little less meat, and it's I already, they already won me over with the baby back. So I was like, at some point I'll do the spare ribs.
Well, that's more you've gotten spare ribs many.
Like every Chinese restaurant
but
won't do it.
Baby back ribs are more rare, I would think. Yeah.
Baby back, you have to go to a rib place.
Yeah, like a smoking, where they smoke it, right?
When they physically do it all day long.
Big worm.
Get out for big worm. That's it. A joke right there.
Worm.
There was a barbecue pit reality.
I think it was Pitmasters.
Yeah, right. I think you're right. Pitmasters was a show we were
Yeah.
watching, and there was a guy on there who, it was all them competing to be the best rib cookers or the best smokers of different kinds of meats, including ribs. And one of the guys, big burly guy, southernish man, was like, I'm dedicating this. I'm going to win this one for big worm.
Yeah.
And we were just like, what? Big worm? And it was just so ridiculous that this friend of his was called Big Worm. I didn't realize at the time. I only learned years later.
Yeah.
I mentioned this, that I was showing a film in my film history class that I had not seen before, but we want to be diverse in the history class, so we have to show, some films of Black and Hispanic, whatever, even if they're not great masterpieces of art. So we showed Friday, which is the Ice Cube, and it's funny. It's actually a very enjoyable, funny film.
I think you should see the word of the day because I think.
Let me.
No, I think you're using it, and I think.
Am I?
I think it might be helpful. Yeah.
Oh boy. But in Friday, one of the characters, and I think he's not CeeLo, I forget this actor's name. He's a comedian. Cedric the it might have been Cedric the Entertainer.
I've not seen the film.
There's a character, I haven't used this yet, but it's a great word.
Okay. I think you're, and here's.
Where's my pen?
No, you don't need it. Here, take this. It's in here.
Thank you very much. Because Dave's Big Dictionary is coming.
It's actually a small one, really.
I'm gonna write the word down so I don't forget it. But Big Worm is this kind of funny, dangerous character in Friday, the Ice Cube film.
Oh, yeah.
It was Leon Gray, I think, who directed it or something. But anyway, and then I realized, so Big Worm, the guy from this friend, who was white, by the way, this guy from his friend, that they nicknamed him Big Worm, he took that from the movie Friday.
You don't know that. He could have been a big fisherman.
Or he could have had a really, really big dick. But I'm guessing this was a middle-aged, fat Southern white guy. Probably not.
But say your story.
Probably like, cocktail weenie like yours truly.
What happened then?
What did happen? Well, at that point I was hooked. At that point, I was at...
Did they give you all the sauces at that point, or when did you discover the sauces?
Oh, hell yeah. Well, because they have the little box.
And then the other thing they did was the Black Plate Special was prime rib.
Right.
And I think that was your favorite.
Well, what happened was, I think before they had the prime rib, I went back.
We go back every week.
Yeah, but we're going back a few months now. So after that first time, I'm like, I am going to live here.
No, and then this is the story. It's like, we go to the supermarket, we shop, and then Sundays you let me sleep. Like, why? Because they only open 11:30.
Right, yeah.
And then you're like, well, I'm half a block away.
Yeah.
Last time you were like, we need eclipse glasses, so I have to walk up there anyway. So we might as well,
Meanwhile, you're usually the one who's kind of like, we're right there.
Happy.
Yeah.
I know that few
Meat makes very few things in this world make me happy. Meat, well cooked, makes me very, very happy.
Yeah.
So, and I like my meat. So the next time I went there, I was like, okay, ribs, and then I was, what the hell is a Black Plate Special?
Yeah.
Which is something that Mission Barbecue does. And they have on the menu for just about 6 to 8 weeks at a time a different special that isn't generally on the menu, but it is a dish that they'll do that is, more than reasonably priced generally. It's kind of like it is a special. and they'll do very often, not always, a steak or a prime rib. So
That's a video, honey.
you saw me for weeks complaining that their black plate special was shrimp, where they gave you like 7 barbecued shrimp on a. It's nothing, what is that? And for like $14 for fucking shrimp that you can get shrimp cocktail in the supermarket. Why? This is mission. Or if you're gonna do it, put 15 shrimp on a thing, make it a deal, and then it's worth it. If you're in the mood for fish, or if you can't have meat, or if you really like barbecue shrimp. And it was very, very good. But it was not, okay, really? I'm not going to go to Mission Barbecue for a black plate special of shrimp. But last week, it was time, once Easter was over, it was time for the black plate special to change. And it changed to the smoked Hawaiian ribeye steak. And this is me, before literally going in to have it, this is me
Did you play it?
having an epiphany. I haven't played the actual, I'm showing the thing.
Picture. Oh, I'm sorry.
Is this the video, or this is just the photo? Hold on.
Sorry, honey, I'll take it.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm sorry.
And I told Joyce, get the camera, because this is going to be an important moment in my life. Mission Barbecue has gone back to meat.
That's such a lie, because I get the camera for everything.
Yeah, and I said, there's a get me with the poster on the door, and she did. So, but it was going to be just a photo, but she accidentally hit the video, and she got this moment where my eyes just widen in joy and gratitude. Watch, it's looping. Watch my eyebrows.
That's a sigh of happiness.
I should have put this on TikTok. This would get like 100,000 hits, just because the.
You should. It's short enough. You should do it and hashtag it Mission Barbecue.
Well, we can do another one today. When we go there.
On, you won't stop, David.
When it comes to ribs
I can bring
and
out
steak, I won't
at the
stop.
Baltimore Museum with the Jim Henson one.
Oh, please don't, please. Someone actually posted. That was so weird. This week, someone not me, but that clip of Kermit singing that song with the banjo. It's actually a 3-minute, really kooky, Dr. Demento-y strange song. That's very funny and cute. Joyce is God. There's so many in-joke things. If you have never seen the show, you have no idea what the hell we're talking about. But we went to the Jim Henson Museum. What do they call it? A traveling exhibit that was done in Baltimore a few months ago. And yes, and that was my.
I'll find the video for you.
I don't want to. Go ahead, go.
If you're doing it, you talk about it. I'll find it. It'll take me a while.
And it was a marvelous exhibit. It really was, with just the the life of Jim Henson, photographs, obviously Muppets all over the place, clips from his videos, rarities, commercials that he did, and there was one interactive place for children, or not just children, where you could actually. I deleted a bunch of photos off there but not that one apparently. So they let you control a puppet where you're not really putting your hand in, you're doing it like the Muppet thing where you're literally controlling. And it allows you to do this. And you get to watch yourself on a monitor just the way. And what it was, that song, even though I'm holding a very different kind of a puppet, when it was originally done, it was pre-Sesame Street. It was.
Really?
And so, oh yeah. And it was done by Kermit on a banjo, or he was just totally, he wasn't actually playing. Yeah, and it's just this goofy thing about this woman who eats everything. It's hard to understand the lyrics. That's why it's also tough to do.
Yeah.
But it's like, hide your babies, hide your just because everything, she's just gonna gobble everything down. It's a funny song, and someone actually posted it on Facebook this week, which I was very happy and excited to see. But yeah, so that's me at the museum. It was the Broadcasting Museum, whatever they call it, at the Henson exhibit.
You found it. I don't know how we went.
Because we're across the street going to the other museum. Yeah.
I think we went or something. We were roaming around, and then you're like, look at that, they have a gymnasium
across the
It
street.
was great.
Yeah. I was very glad to do that. It was a great day in Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, he was local.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're several miles from Baltimore City, the proper city, and we don't see it nearly enough. But when we go to Baltimore, we try and make the most of it. We walk around the beautiful Johns Hopkins campus, or we'll.
To get my haircut, we could go again.
Yeah. Well, we gotta figure out when. So yeah. But let me tell you what's going to be on this episode of Dave's Gone By. This is a classic, standard, old school Dave's Gone By. It's just me and the missus and Potato. Oh. It's tough to grab him by his hat. It comes off. Potato, still with his baby teeth. They're going to be coming in.
Wow. Oh, what happened? They fixed them all. You have your medical equipment.
Wait, let me give him some orthodontia. Oh, see, eventually.
He needs a replacement teeth.
His teeth will look like this. Not yet. It's going to take a little while. I know. But it's time. I got to do some orthodontia on him, so hold on. It's just a little twist. It's just a little. There you go. Oh, my God. Okay. There you go. Much better, Potato.
Don't hurt him.
I know. I'll give him some Daladine later. Daladine, I need Xanax, asshole! I'm sorry, Potato. All right.
Do you want to go over the word of the day, or it's too early?
Well, now I'm going to tell what we're going to do on the show, including the word. We don't call it the word of the day. We call it. One of the segments on this program is Dave's Big Dictionary. Dave's Big Dictionary, where basically at random, or Joyce will usually page through the dictionary, find a word. Joyce wants to find one of the chickens here. So, and for a couple of years now, we would thumb through the dictionary at random. She'd point to a word. I saw the chicken go. And I would have to, later in the program, come up with something off the top of my head to talk about. Whatever that word brought into my head, whether it was direct or indirect or just tangential, my job was to extemporize, to kind of talk about whatever the word brings in my head. Well, yeah, tell me.
Webster posted a word that we found it.
Yeah.
Probably because of AI listening to me talking to you. Now in my social media feed, I get word of the day from Merriam-Webster now. So
Merriam-Webster on Twitter or wherever they post it, probably all the places.
All social media.
So, I know in order, because nobody who the hell buys a dictionary anymore, Merriam-Webster wants to keep its branding and its name out there. So they say, hey, who better to do a word of the day to teach people? So Joyce checked this day's word of the day, and you guys can check it yourself from Merriam-Webster, and it is a good word. It really is. This one is brusque. Brusque, BRUSQUE, which comes from, it makes sense, French, brusque, or in brusque in French or Italian, brusco, which means, there is a bruscus, which is a plant with still twigs used for brooms. I did not know that.
That makes sense. It's brusque.
It totally does. So, but brusque means curt, blunt, or abrupt. Synonyms include gruff, bluff, crusty, and short. Oh yeah. And brusquely is the adverb. So if you're brusque, it means you're curt, you're blunt, you're abrupt, you're kind of don't bother me with this, and that's kind of a brusque response. So at some point later in the program, I will be talking about whatever the word brusque brings to mind. So that's one thing. That is Dave's Big Dick Generic. Plus, also on this program, we'll have Greeley Times, because Joyce and I lived in Colorado for about 13 years. And while we were there, this was the daily newspaper there, the Greeley Tribune. It's still a hard copy print newspaper. Sorry that the light keeps going in and out here when I hold this up. But now they publish hard copy 4 times a week, I believe, but they're still online completely. And in it, they have a weekly column that is wonderful called Cop Log. And it comprises phone calls that come into the Greeley and Weld County Police Department from people who are seeing something scary or weird or messed up in the neighborhood. And there you go. Yeah, this is like, you know, they get a phone call, help, you know, and the funniest ones are stripped of their identifiers and they go into the newspaper because it's public record, and then we take the funniest of the funniest and goof on them.
Do you think
Yeah.
that people know when they call the police that it's public record?
Oh, I don't think they're thinking about that. But they realize that whatever I get, or maybe they don't know, but they can't be, you're the one of all people who knows about research methods and identifiers.
It's weird that, like,
They'll give the street and the avenue, so they'll give the cross street.
Yeah.
I only mention the street or the avenue. I don't give both.
Yeah, good.
But in the paper, it says roughly where the call, an apartment complex on 9th Street and 21st Avenue, someone called, right? And identify, and they will.
Or an alien. Sometimes, like, people from other dimensions do call us.
Occasionally, they do.
When they're not like going through walls or starting people's car in the driveway, they do.
Well, the paper is not allowed to reveal its sources, but it can reveal its saucers. Womp womp. One of my students put a thing in her essay that I was reading, and she actually used womp womp. And I was looking, and I was like, womp womp, that's great, I love it. Womp womp. It wasn't like a high level research essay. It was appropriate for the content. But where was I going with this? Where was I going with this? Just Greeley Crimes. So we do Greeley Times.
You're explaining what it is in the background
and how it is. So.
Across it?
Oh, reading the. You know how I came across it. We've been living in Greeley for a long time. We got the paper from, because we were too cheap to buy. We got it from school because they had free copies at the university. And then I opened it up one time, and I see a headline in fairly big letters.
Oh, yes.
Bold letters, a headline. Yes. Horse poops over neighbor's fence. And of course I did a double, triple, and quadruple take. I'm like, horse poops over neighbor's fence. And I was instantly like, what is that? First of all, it made me very happy that we were living in Greeley, Colorado, because it meant that if this was an important news item, if this was going to be like a major, if the newspaper had room for something like this, it meant we're not a high crime area. It meant that we're not going to be worried, or only rarely about shootings and muggings and anything like that. If on page 4, the top story is a horse is pooping over a neighbor's fence.
The first one you showed me was about a chicken that escaped.
Oh, was it?
I think it was like chicken ran the neighborhood.
But I wouldn't have noticed that. I noticed the poop first. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Definitely noticed it. And after that, I was like, what is this? And I realized that they were all ridiculous things, or people phoning in to complain about, or police investigating these ridiculous occurrences in northern Colorado. And from then on, I kept reading it, and then I discovered.
Well, our friend sent us one, the trees attacked one.
This is genius. Yeah. This is.
We didn't know about that apparently.
We've shown this many times, but you can never show it too often. I just hope this paper doesn't crumble to bits, because this is already going back to.
Scan it, honey. We'll scan it.
Oh, I think we can still maybe even find it online and post it.
Not with that image.
Yeah, I probably should scan. This won't fit on my scanner properly to do the whole thing.
Scan it. We could put
and then attach it.
Shrink it.
Oh, but literally, this won't. The point of this is that not only the headline. This is a what do you call it? A gatefold, or what do they call it? Yeah. This is, by the way, an artist's rendering.
Oh, that's holding a knife. I didn't realize that.
Yes, this is the genius of it. All the way to tree can kill. This is the front page.
First of all, a tree would not hold a knife like that. And second of all, our friend sent us this. You should ask her, because she's a librarian. Maybe she can get you a microfiche version.
Oh my gosh. And so we'll show the whole thing, and we can take the whole thing. But if you remind me later in the day, I can see if I can get it just online, if they've archived it as a story with a visual.
Best-selling papers.
Well, come on. We should have framed this. This is just all the ways. It is a legitimate newspaper. It is actually. I mean, I know.
Do we know the story of how they can attack? Did you read it?
Well, I haven't read the story in a very long time. So let's do that.
How can they kill you?
Here's how a tree can kill you. This is a story by Trevor Reed. I don't think he's still at the paper. He might still be. going back to June of 2019. So this is a 5-year-old story
Wow.
already. Or no, I need ominous
Okay, wait.
ominous music. They killed 92 people in 2016. They stand taller than 100 feet and reach more than 20 feet into the ground. And there are about 100,000 of them in Greeley. Trees, stationary as they may be, can pose a whole set of hazards, some of which are fatal. After a Greeley family had a close call this month when a tree branch fell near their gathering, Greeley forestry manager Shiloh Hatcher, this is the kind of town we were living in. There were people named Shiloh.
Hatcher is a good name for a tree person.
That's right. He noted that such an incident is more rare than one would think, though it's rare enough among the general population that it might sound like a laughing matter. Tree safety is a serious topic in the tree care industry. The Tree Care Industry Association found reports of 153 tree care-related injuries in 2016, 92 of those resulting in death.
Okay, enough of that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, it's like...
But I'm surprised. I thought it was trees going after people.
Oh!
It sounded like it was like a vendetta kind of thing. I didn't understand that.
That hasn't really happened since the 1970s.
Oh, okay.
And where they're hiding behind cars.
Like you open the door and a branch comes in, with the little branch finger saying it's your turn.
Like the Jaws shark on Saturday Night Live. No, it doesn't. It hasn't. No, it's not quite that. No. But anyway, it is on some level a legitimate newspaper. And I will always have bitterness in my heart because they never hired me. But although they did pay me $30 to write a theater review once. And it was a well-written review, so fuck them. But they do Greeley Times, and I'm glad to share that with you guys. And that's one of the other segments that we do. So we're talking about Dave's Big Dictionary, Greeley Times. We'll also have Story Time. Ooh, with Rabbi Sol Solomon of blessed memory. Yes, Rabbi Sol has been with us since our very first episode back in 2002. And now we're going to be approaching, the Passover holiday is just about a week and a half away, maybe 2 weeks away. So we're going to get a little biblical with Rabbi Sol. We found a children's book that he will read to you, and he will probably make some comments, as he is wont to do. So yeah, Rabbi Sol in the Daverhood going to be doing story time today on Dave's Gone By also, and our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a limerick, a poem. Since, again, we did live in Colorado all those years, I started writing as many poems as I could about as many places in Colorado as I could. We're up to about 300 now, and our latest one...
Oh boy, I'm looking it up, David. You tell me.
You're not going to find much about it.
Can you spell it, too?
I don't need to spell it.
Oh, no.
Able.
What?
Able, Colorado. Now, one of the things we're doing now is I'm kind of starting to include ghost towns and towns that really no longer exist, because I'm desperate.
Because you've hit everything.
Yeah, I've hit everything I can possibly rhyme. So now I'm getting a little deep and going to places that haven't even had people in 100 years. But Able, Colorado is or was a place. Are you finding anything?
I was looking in my email. I got distracted.
Oh, no problem.
It's 54 degrees, honey.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice day if it doesn't rain. Yeah. Able, Colorado is going to be our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. I have a 5-line poem.
There's one in Ohio. Okay.
Yeah, no, but the one in Colorado, it won't even probably be on a map at this point.
Able is some kind of a plan sponsored by College Invest. It's a plan as well.
Mm-hmm.
Able, Colorado. Oh, here it is. It's an extinct town.
Yes.
Is that what they're calling ghost towns now? Extinct?
I think ghost towns maybe still have a little name on the map. There's nobody in them, but they still have a structure or an old unused post office, whereas an extinct town means it no longer is there.
It was a railroad stop.
Yeah. So we're bringing it back from extinction. Isn't that amazing? Like the manatee or the dinosaur or what else? Yeah.
What does the phrase extinct town mean?
So there, I think Ghost Town they would use to say that it's still there. It's just no people are there, but there's a schoolhouse and stuff. Whereas extinct means they don't even put it on the map. It's been swallowed up by another county or something. A once flourishing town. I mean, I don't think Able was ever even flourishing because it was not Able.
It looks like it was a railroad stop.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, back in the 1800s, that's what they were building.
You had to live near the railroad, right?
Yeah.
Not you per se.
No, but no, if let's say you wanted to spend one night somewhere on a long train trip or you were in the midst of something, boom, they build a little bitty town, a place where you could buy conveniences, have a mattress, and then get on about your business. Other towns, when a railroad came in, they were already sort of there, but then they flourished and they put up a hotel and they put up stores and trading posts and all of that. So yeah, so Able is our Colorado Limerick of the damned place that we'll be doing. And they're going to hit everything. And how can we forget? And we can certainly talk about this. My Sick Mind. Yes, one of my, yeah.
Oh, it's giving Remember This Day, but look, it's doing Featured Monday.
Oh, I remember that. My Sick Mind is another, we do this very sporadically, but when there's something in the news that, do we talk about Mr. Nosenbloom? I think we did. All right, I'll get to him in a moment.
Scientific process.
Stop it. Oh, how do we stop this from actually rolling? It doesn't. It's
Here, I'll find this. Do you want Mr. Nosenbloom?
Scientific process.
When something happens in the news, usually a death or some horrible calamitous tragedy, most people respond to that with tears or with sorrow, or our hearts go out, or if it's the the National Rifle Association is defending some guns everywhere after somebody shoots up a school, and then the Republicans are like, our thoughts and prayers go out to that's how most normal-ish people respond to terrible tragedy and calamity. I make jokes. That's what I do. So My Sick Mind takes an issue, something in the news, and I try and write a bunch of jokes about it, and I share them with you. So what do you think My Sick Mind is going to be about today, Joyce? What do you think is going to be the subject? What else could it possibly be? Who died 2 days ago?
Someone who drinks.
What do you drink in the morning?
Tea?
Well, you drink.
Someone a tea maker? Oh, man.
Yeah, Mr. Twangings has passed. No.
If my tea makers die, we're gonna have. If they stop making my tea, we're gonna have problems.
Yeah, but anyway, no, it's the passing, the death, the long-awaited, joyful death of O.J. Simpson, who died of prostate cancer about 2 days ago. So O.J., not a good person, not a nice guy. Not a representative of anything decent or good in American society, except maybe a good at sports. And there were zillions of OJ jokes during the trial, during all of that, and the Bronco ride and all. But it's time for some more jokes because he's dead, and because we can't. So a little later in the program, we'll have our My Sick Mind segment with 10, count them 10, brand new, except a couple I refashioned from classic jokes by other people, but 10 new OJ jokes. Don't miss them. Don't miss them. Now, the other thing that we did is, and this is, I think I talked about this, but I'll show this again. Just so you know the kind of person that you're dealing with. A couple of weeks ago, in my wife and my bedroom, I'm noticing the wall.
You were napping.
Yeah. And we don't have any paintings on the wall. We kept them gray like this. I'm going to put stuff up for the show in this room. But when I peel all of it down, it's just gray walls, which is what we have in our main bedroom. We like it sedate and just like wall. It's peaceful. It's a very nice room. And I'm looking at the wall, though. I'm walking into the room and staring at it. I'm like, what the hell? There's like a bulge in the wall. Something I've never noticed before. I'm like, what the hell is that? because I'm worried. Oh my God, we've had a leak in one place, and we're worried about something in the plaster. What is this?
Yeah.
And I go to the wall and I put my hand on it, and it's flat. There's no bulge. There's nothing. It's just flat. So I walk back, and I look, and it's back.
No.
And it's not like I pushed anything in.
Like one of the alien abductions, maybe?
It could very well be. It could be the probe.
Maybe this is the initial phase.
I
First
wonder.
you get cute, and they, you like the alien, and then one day when you're napping,
Yeah.
be careful, honey. Cover yourself up.
I do.
Good.
Except my genitals, because they need to air. But, I mean, you can tell by the smell right now. They need to air. But, so I'm looking at this thing on the wall. I'm like, why the hell is, and I go back, idiot that I am, I'm like, let me touch it again. And it disappears again. And then I move the curtain, because we keep the curtains closed.
Oh, honey, come quickly, and I think you're having a heart attack, and you...
Oh, because it was an exciting discovery.
Excited, yeah.
What was happening is we keep the curtains closed mostly during the day, especially in the winter. Well, in the winter we should keep them open, but we keep them closed. But some light streams from the side of them. They're big, long. What do you call those curtains? They're curtain. I mean, but they literally hang down to the floor. They're room length curtains. But streaming to the side of them is light. And what happens is, for some insane reason, in the afternoon, by 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, some trick of light gives dimensionality to the light and to the wall, and it creates the illusion, an optical illusion of part of the wall coming out, of having a bump on the wall. And that's all it is. It's literally a trick of light. This thrills me. As Joyce said, I ran screaming. I'm like, hon, take a look at this. The wall has a boner. It's bulging. It's amazing.
You said it was like a nose. You called him Mr.
Well, we were trying to think of a name. I was like,
we were trying to think of a name.
because it looked like the wall had a nose, and a Jewish nose at that. And I'm like, our wall has a nose. Do you understand this? And if you move the curtain, the nose goes away, right?
Now I could take a picture. It's the bunny.
Well, here's the deal.
That's the original. I don't think we have any of the bunny, do we?
Well, we should take a picture.
I'll take one. I'll go take one. You could show it.
So I said, we got to take a picture. But then I was like, well, it's very weird to have a wall with a nose on it and nothing else.
Of course, naturally, that would be weird enough.
So Joyce was like, no. So I was like, okay, come back in a little bit. I go and I take little eyes, pink, like these cute little googly eye things, and I paste them above the nose. And I'm like, okay, this is better now. Now at least we have something of a face. We got a nose. But then I'm like, well, it needs a mouth, doesn't it? And I do a mouth. And Joyce is like, you know what? It's almost St. Patrick's Day. Let's give him a nose. Let's make it.
I wanted to make him a festive hat. Because also he's a proper gentleman. He wanted
He
to
is.
be dapper.
So we named him, even though he'd be Irish, Mr. Nosenbloom.
Oh, you put the glasses. Let me get a picture of him now so they can see the...
Oh, yeah, please do. Please do.
Just tell them there'll be no nose on this one.
But just so you know, you see this right here. He even has a divot there. This, I can't get my finger. That nose does not exist. That is only light.
I'll take a comparative one now.
So there's we call him Mr. Nosenbloom.
I'm going to take a current one. So we need his bunny in the...
I think I took down some of that. The carrot. Put the carrot back. It's in my drawer.
No.
We don't need the carrot. She doesn't like the carrot. Okay. But this now, much to Joyce's joy and delight, we kept the face on the wall so that the nose doesn't feel alone. So rather than a straight blank gray wall that we've been living with for all this time, we now have Mr. Nosenbloom with these Google eyes, which is of course what you want when you're in a bedroom, either trying to sleep or get dressed or undressed. And this is these eyes staring at you from the middle of the wall. Yeah, these are the kinds of sacrifices a wife makes when she marries someone like me. So Joyce is literally taking a picture as we speak. But, the one other thing that we do is, because the nose is only temporary. Yeah.
This is him now with his placement.
Because the nose only comes out at certain times of the day. The light has to be coming in from one direction. Otherwise, it's just flat. So Joyce, even though we don't celebrate Easter, I'm Jewish, she's atheist, whatever, but we're like, well, we need something cheerful and Eastery. So we designed, and Joyce did most of the design on this, a bunny rabbit for Easter. And we actually gave it a nose of its own. Because when nose goes away, then you just have eyes and a mouth and no nose, and that looks weird too. So now this, even though it's past Easter, is on our bedroom wall.
Yeah.
Remember, neither of us is children. I'm 60, she's almost 55, and this is what we have on our bedroom wall. There's something deeply wrong, mostly with me, but there's definitely something deeply wrong going on. But what we can do is we take away this fake nose in the middle of the day, and we let the light create Bunny Nosenbloom, which is a beautiful thing. Yeah. If you're wondering, you're watching Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my wonderful wife Joyce. We have an interesting marriage. Oh, my phone. Yeah.
If anyone's on Facebook, I can check your
Oh,
Facebook
please
on
do.
your phone.
While you're doing that, let me remind people that if you're curious, if you're literally been sitting here for 45 minutes or part of that, lost and wondering what the hell this is and why we're doing it, one way to figure it out is to watch older episodes. Well, we've collected and archived all our older episodes. We've had them available for years. They're free. All you got to do is go to my website, davesgoneby.com. DAVESGONEBY, davesgoneby.com. And quite literally, you can go back and listen to our very first show from 2002. It's audio only. It was a radio program. And then you can listen to our 20th show and our 200th show and our 250th show and our 678th. I mean, literally, except for one or two episodes, we have been able to salvage and save, usually in pretty good audio quality, every episode we've ever done, including the last 5 or 6 years where we've been video as well as audio. So, davesgoneby.com is your absolute first stop for all of these. We also archive our shows at archive.org. We have a channel there. It's the same exact content, but if you want to support archive.org or throw them a little money, they're a nonprofit organization, that'd be great. Archive.org. Again, all our episodes as well as all of our interviews are at archive.org. Plus, you can find our audio archives at castbox.fm, castbox.fm. So if you're on the go, if you're on the train, if you're going for a run, you can just pop in the ears, download us as a podcast, and it's the audio only. But every episode we've done is there. And we are on YouTube, of course, although many of our old YouTube shows have been muted or blocked in a zillion countries because we used to play a lot of copyrighted music. This was on a commercial radio station, and then we were on a college radio station. So at that point, I was playing DJ as well as doing this. It was much more of a mix of music and talk, which I loved and I miss. But now, I'm kind of glad we stopped doing the music a couple of years ago because now YouTube doesn't fuck with us. YouTube said, well, there's no music in here. It's all your content. You can put it up. Go ahead. So we do. And Facebook as well. The Facebook has only our video shows.
I'm doing a feeling check-in about your show.
I'm feeling good. In fact, I'm feeling good because I beat Facebook this week.
Are you feeling happy, loved, lovely, blessed, thankful, in love, grateful, fantastic, festive?
I feel good.
I did silly before. Blissful. What do you?
Blissful's a little much. I'll be blissful when I hit
joyful,
barbecue.
motivated, proud.
Yep.
Which one?
Oh no, I'm telling you, all of the above. I'm feeling good. Delighted's good. Also victorious. I feel. Let me tell you, I beat Facebook this week. I did. I see all these people complaining about Facebook that they're blocked for an hour because they liked some post and Facebook said
you're victorious.
Yeah, yes, victorious. And Facebook's been pissing me off recently because they, like YouTube, have been getting on this jag of finding a show that, when we first started broadcasting video on Facebook, I was still at the university radio station, still doing a radio show with music. And now Facebook is going back and looking at, this was copyright, and this was ASCAP, and this was, Bob Dylan's Tams Whitmark music copyright. You can't play that, and we're blocking it, we're muting it, and we're doing this. And I just got pissed off, as I do 20 times a day. And I go to one of the episodes. They've done like 10 of these now. And I go, it gives you a thing. Would you like to dispute this?
I'm gonna put this one.
Yes. Would you like to dispute this? And I was like, let me write to them and let me say, yes, I would like to dispute this. I've been doing this for years. It was fine for years. Suddenly you're taking this away. And here's why this was a radio show. Why? I click, and then they send me back a couple of days later saying, no, sorry, you're still muted, you're still away. Would you like to pursue this further? Would you like, what's that word where you lose a case? Would you like to appeal?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I've got a couple of minutes. And I click, I'm going to appeal. Why would you like to appeal this? And I wrote, one paragraph, just saying, this was a video recording of a radio program that was done on a college radio station that ostensibly had paid for the rights to, the blanket rights to play music that was copyrighted by whatever. It was a radio show, and it's a document of that. So we had the rights to play the music then, and this is literally just an archive, a document of what it was. And of course, the me talking parts, I'm allowed to do whatever. And I did this for only one episode, right, where I appealed. Yeah. And they came back to me about 2 days ago, and they said, yes, you've won your appeal. And they restored, apparently, and you can watch the episode and hear the whole episode. Now, do I want to do this with the 9 other episodes they blocked, especially when you can hear them on davesgoneby.com or... Well, I will if I go back and look for the messages.
The same reason?
Yeah. But I felt like, oh my gosh, I was literally not expecting to win. But I'm not against songwriters being paid. I'm not against record companies getting what they deserve, especially when the bottom has completely fallen out on artists being able to make money selling records or whatever. But at the same time, this was my show. It was a radio show. We've documented it. And I've said this so many times, back in the day when I wanted to be a DJ in the 1970s and 1980s, and a real DJ, not these people at turntables with that kind of crap in clubs, but a radio station DJ, selecting songs, announcing. Payola was kind of crashed in the 1950s. But the whole point was record companies would kiss your ass if you played their records. They wanted you to play the stuff so people would go and listen and buy them. You were essentially a commercial for the song every time you played it.
David, a distributor, right?
Well, yeah, I'm almost a marketer and a promoter. If I say, hey, here's a great new song from REM, and I play it, and somebody hears that, oh, I want to hear that again, then yeah, they'll go out and buy the single or they'll buy the CD, whatever. Yeah. And even in the 1970s, 80s, when payola was, because they got Alan Freed for that and they stopped it in the 50s. No, I mean, radio DJs and programmers were still fated. They were still invited to, parties and things. They were still given special boxes and gifts and whatever. So it was always indirect. But here's the new album, and here's something that goes with it. And
they also get it first?
Oh, sure. Or a DJ.
Or like to tantalize the audience. Like, the new song is going to come out next week.
Yeah, we have first airing dibs.
What happened? Streaming?
Well, I said, it was Napster and Spotify and everything else, and then iTunes and Apple.
Oh, okay. So it was streaming then.
Yeah, at that point. But when I first came up and was trying to do a radio class at NYU or get involved in their station and wanting to get on some kind of radio station, it was still the era of major record companies, major labels wanting to have they have a new band they've invested all these tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars into, and you've got to push them. How do you get? And they would go to college radio because the commercial radio, they were looking for the next album by
successful people.
Yeah, AC/DC and Average White Band and Springsteen and so on forth. The college stations were the place that you went to. It's like, here's a great new indie band out of Alabama or Detroit or somewhere. Yeah, we're Athens, Georgia. Right, so that's where here's an album from Pere Ubu, their first major label thing. WFMU, WXRK, they're not going to be playing Per Ubu, but a college station would take that chance. But they've got to get this to the college people and say, check this out. And here's some stickers. And hey, do you want to talk to the artists? They're available. And that's how it was done. So it's a whole different world out there. But at the same time, because artists are starving, and artists are always starving, you do feel bad, and you do feel that they should be compensated properly in a way that perhaps Spotify and iTunes and Apple Music are not necessarily doing. But also, the lowly DJ or someone who's trying to do a live stream radio station.
Remember there was the thing and say, hey, Mr. DJ, play my song. There were in songs about asking the DJ to play.
Yes. Yes.
Like to get in the playlist.
What was it? There's Eric Idle wrote a comedy song. I bet you won't hear this song on the radio. I guarantee you won't hear this. And he was putting all these profane words and then intentionally bleep them out. You won't hear this song. Yeah.
He did it.
Yeah. But also,
what I don't like?
Yeah, tell me.
How come they do like clean? I mean, maybe for kids they're doing it.
Why?
But like a lot of times, YouTube will have a version of a clean version that takes out the curse words. It's like, whoop, and they put in like things like that.
I get why they would do that. I mean, if you have the parent of an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old, and you hear mommy and daddy listening to a song, what would you want your 8-year-old listening to? Yeah. Yeah. Or if you want to get on still commercial radio before 11 o'clock at night, that's the version you can play. The FCC will still, they're not going to let through the N-word at 11 o'clock in the morning. They're not going to do the F or shit would probably go through at this point. But F, Mother F, all of those, they'll never get on the air. Yep.
Never, no.
I mean, they'll get on cable. They'll get on
what's
streaming.
Your thoughts about you're going to do it for all your shows?
Well, I'm sorry, for all my shows?
Are you going to appeal all your shows?
If I have the time, if I have the energy, I have to go back now and find the messages if I can find them. Because a lot of times, your thing has just been banned in this, or it's just been muted, and then I'm like, I don't have time to deal with this. I click away from it. I don't know if I can find the ones that were problematized.
Yeah.
But if I can, if I will, what it just means is that if you scroll back on Facebook through our many years now of our video programs, there are some of them that have been blocked or muted, and now at least one of them has come back, but all the others are still there. Facebook is not really the best place to watch old episodes of the show, mainly only because if you scroll more than a month or two through Facebook history, it just takes forever to load. I don't know why. But if you're like looking for old messages or old stuff, it's just first it goes pretty quick, and then slower and slower. So if you were looking for this program from like 3 years ago, you'd be like, it do up the last 10 posts, and then 10 more posts, and 10 more posts, and 10 more. And there's ways to do it where you have a timeline and a time frame, but then you have to know what you're looking for. It's not the easiest way, especially since you have davesgoneby.com and archive.org, which are right there and simple and available for you. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Time, here in the Daverhood. Conmigo, Dave Lefkowitz. Contiga, that's probably not the word. Joyce, my adorable and darling wife, and all of you watching at home. It's our 939th episode of the show, live on this Saturday, April 12th, 2024. I don't have a title for this episode. I'm going to wait. This is going to be one of those things where teachers recommend and professors recommend that students write the essay first and then read the essay and then figure out a title, which makes more sense sometimes than starting with a title, writing something, and they don't really connect. Sometimes you just have to do the essay first and then figure out what the title is. So I may do that with this episode of the show. Usually if we have a guest, I can riff and come up with a pun on the guest's name, but there's no guest this week. So I'm up for a title so far. Not sure what it's going to be.
Mr. Nosenbloom.
It might be.
Nobody knows what Mr. Rosenbloom knows.
Listen, I could go with Mr. Nosenbloom.
Yes. Can you think of a more brusque title?
Actually, I did, because the one title that I think this is awful, but everybody or or certainly I'm waiting for the Iranian bombs to start landing on Israel, because apparently they're high alert, and Israel took out a bunch of terrorists in Iran about a week or two ago, and Iran said we're going to respond to that. So everybody's on tenterhooks that there's going to be not just the war between Israel and Palestinians, but there's going to be a thing now where the Iranians are going to do this major whatever offensive or revenge thing against Israel, and it's coming, they said yesterday, in a few hours or maybe a couple of days or at any time. So I thought a good title might be World War Wee, but I may save that one.
I think the title should be It's Hotter Than Two Rats in a Wool Sock Behind a Dryer. Could it be that?
Where'd you find that?
On the Facebook.
I would save that one for July.
It's hotter than two rats in a wool sock behind a dryer. I think
that is a great title. It's not appropriate. I mean, the weather's 50s here today.
Here, I'll pull some more stuff.
Save that one for July.
What about...
Although Mr. Nosenbloom is good. Because we talked about Mr. Nosenbloom on the wall.
Yes.
I may go with that instead of World War
What
Wee.
about the madness? Is it... Is it the madness like a game? It's some kind of madness game?
I don't know.
We could just take it and from Dr. Demento call it Space Capades.
Space it doesn't. If I have someone from NASA on, or someone who is a space cadet, although that would be me, I don't know. Not feeling it.
Huggy's blowout blocks or blocker.
I can't even say it. Yeah. What else?
How about
I don't think anything's going to beat Mr. Nosenbloom. Because he's a nose in bloom on my wall.
Tour, we could say that.
What was it? The tour? What?
Welcome Home Tour. We could call it The Nanny, Starving Artist.
We talked about that. Starving Artist.
Call it Satisfying Saturday. No, okay.
It may be.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Taken.
Conversations with the Divorce Attorney. That's the show.
Oh, that is a show by one of our guests.
Yeah.
That's by what are their names? Can you Suzanne Bachner. That's going to be off Broadway for a couple of weeks.
They're 14th Street Y. Tonight's entertainment fridge, baby. Conversations. It looks very nice.
Yeah, and by the way, she's not divorced. She and her husband.
Looks like a good. Whose line is it anyway? We could say that.
Yeah.
We could name it Paul Servino.
Oh, he passed.
What about Mole Catcher?
Mole Catcher?
Mole Catcher, Frog Juggler, a Chicken Whisperer, and Squirrel Matador.
Where are those from? I love this.
I think it's people trying to outdo each other on its sign.
Yeah, the Mole Catcher is probably a real one. This is fantastic. I love this. I don't know what country that is.
I think they were challenging each other to outdo the signs. Like they saw one and then...
Frog Juggler. I love it. Chicken Whisperer, and then Chicken Whisperer is beautiful. Squirrel Matador. These are just, I love it. I love it. Where was this? Scotland. Local advertising. Just great. Excellent. Anyway. So, yeah, you're watching. I'm working on a sneeze. I can feel it in this nostril. Help me, B. Oh, maybe if I drink from my B. Arthur cup, it will help me out. Better. So, you are watching Dave's Gone By, and we have, as we've said, so much still to go on the show. We've got Greeley Times coming up, Dave's Big Dictionary, where I'm going to riff on the word brusque. We're going to have My Sick Mind, where it's going to be a few jokes about O.J. Simpson, and then of not so blessed memory, and our Colorado Limerick of the Damned for Able, Colorado. Ooh! Not to mention, we also have Bunion Watch. I forgot about that. We have Bunion Watch, including courtesy of the AARP magazine, so an actual article about bunions. Huh? You tuned in on the right day, didn't you guys? You tuned in at very, very definitely the correct episode to watch. I won again this week. Before Joyce gets back, I'll do this too. I beat Facebook at their own copyrighted game, and I also, you gotta read the fine print, ladies and gentlemen, and it really is true these days. So, Joyce and I, when we first moved into our home in northern Baltimore, about a year and a half ago, we bought our furniture from Lazy Boy, and so we have a lovely couch. This is a happy story. This has a happy ending.
Do you want me to make you tea?
I think I'll need that in a little while.
Okay.
When you go down for a snack or something, I'll take the tea.
Tell me when you're going to switch segments. I'll get
when the rabbi comes on.
I'm sorry. What time is the rabbi? Do you expect?
There's no shape to this show.
But usually you have a sense of.
I have a sense that he would be coming on 5 minutes ago.
Oh, wow.
We haven't even touched Greeley times. I was supposed to start at 9:30.
Yeah, but how did we even? Did I miss some? Are you in some ayahuasca induced? We can't go back in time.
We're in a time warp.
We can't go back. Unless did aliens abduct me?
Possibly. Let me see if they probed you.
No,
because I'll probe you later.
I was stuck with needles, but that's
Oh,
acupuncture.
wow. No, but we almost got stuck. What are you looking for?
My phone.
From Lazy Boy.
Oh,
So Lazy Boy.
Yeah.
I didn't really like doing this, but we had big expenses when we first moved here because we had to get a car and we bought this house and then furniture. We had no idea Nosenbloom was on the wall.
We have a lot of construction paper costs in this home. Honestly, look at behind you. The construction paper and bow cost.
Oh, bows.
Bows and construction and tape.
Oh, the Scotch tape is off the.
It almost bankrupted us.
I would say it was off the wall, but it's literally on the wall right now. Thank you. Ooh, that was good.
I did it one-handed with my phone.
That's like Doc Severinsen and good. That's like Buddy Rich. Oh. Little thing fell
off. They
don't
have another drum machine.
They didn't have it. I know. We could, we have those drumsticks that are
Oh yeah, but this is probably some kind of toxic hazard for children.
Probably, I would hope so.
Safe for me, yeah.
So when we got our furniture from Lazy Boy, we got a couple of bureau drawers and we got couches and chairs. I mean, some nice, good, long-lasting, we hope, well-made Lazy Boy furniture. And then we put it on a word I never thought I'd ever use, layaway. Like literally 1950s. When you can't afford something, you put it on a long string of time and pay it off.
It's like paying things over time.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Isn't that the...
What you do is when you buy a house. So, but I didn't really, but they made it irresistible because there was no interest. So it actually makes total sense. It's like, hey, wait a minute. Instead of giving you a couple of $1,000s up front, which we could have done, but we didn't want to do.
I also know, David, that honest to God, we just did a few pieces, but imagine someone's doing a whole home. It's costly.
Well, Lazy Boy certainly is. It'd be $20,000 in the home.
Yeah, if you had children or extra beds, I do want to get that bed like our friend has for you.
So Lazy Boy, I guess they work in the high, the fact by charging so much for everything, but they expect, people won't pay it off all at once. They'll put it on layaway, but no interest. So that means the money stays in your bank and you just parcel out a little bit. We have interest on our car, we have interest on our mortgage, but our furniture, it's just like, hey, boom, boom, eventually we'll pay the thing off. So I'm all for it. And it's been great. It's been fine. We get our statements in the mail. I automatically send, and it's, it isn't really a lot each month because there's no interest. It's just, just payment. And in 2 more years or something, we'll have, or maybe 3 more years, we'll have all our furniture paid off just like that. But then, I barely even read these things. We get a letter from the bank, Synchrony Bank, awful name. Synchrony Bank, that deals with the Lazy Boy stuff. And it's like a 3-page letter. It's like this, and it's some changes to your account. It's like if you hold, honest to God, if you have an outstanding missed payment or something, there's a 34% fee or something like that. It's a 30% markup. So literally like a third of the value of the thing. It's like,
yeah, but you gotta hear that. You gotta
Correct. We pay our bill, in full every month, but yeah. And then it says, oh by the way, like in the middle of page 2, if as of June, unless you tell us that you want paperless billing. If you still want your bills coming to you in an envelope every month, we're gonna charge you $2 a month.
You don't need a bill.
But it was like if I hadn't looked at it.
I'm sure most people don't even read it. Yeah.
And they were just gonna tack on $24 a year for the convenience of opening the bill you have to pay. And I look at this, I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Because it's like, you want your money, you want to remind me of your money, but you want me to pay not even postage, but $2 a month for you're sending me a bill. Like, really? Really?
Oh, that's really weird.
So I try and go on the website and I don't remember our codes. And so I call up. And I get this very nice woman. I say, is this real? And she's like, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, if you don't go to paperless billing, you're going to get charged $1.99 a month for bill. So I said, okay, please, can you put me on paperless billing? Because I like having a reminder. I like getting something in the mail, hard copy. I still do. I'm 60 years old. When I was a kid, you got bills in the mail and you mailed out checks, right? So that's the era I came from. I said, could you kindly change? I said, no, I can't, but you can do it online. I'm like, okay, give me the goddamn website. And she's like, okay, I'm going to text it to you. I'm like, I don't want it by text. Okay, I'm going to do this on my computer. I don't use my phone for this shit. Can you kindly just email me?
If you text it, you can cut and paste it from your text.
Well, that's, yeah. She couldn't email it for whatever reason.
No, but if she texts you, I can take out a text and put it in email.
Well, yeah. What I did was, instead of doing that, she texted me, and I literally copied letter by letter this URL.
All you needed to do was take it in your text, hit copy, and then put it in email and email yourself.
Email, yeah. But I mean, it's steps like I shouldn't have to go. Why can't she email me?
Because
I'll give her my fucking
their
email address.
policy.
Yeah. And then I did it. And it was a fairly simple process to register and then to say, oh, please paperless billing from now on. And so we're going to save $24 a year that the usurers were going to try and hook us with. So it's kind of, I'm proud of myself for catching that, but how many times read your bills? Read the things that look like a bill, but wasn't even actually a monthly statement. It was just like this thing where, what is it? Changes. How many times do we get from our credit card companies, here's some changes to your cards, remember, and they've raised whatever, the APR from 24% to 27%, whatever, and then tons and tons of paragraphs of fine print. It's like, leave me alone. But sometimes it pays to read.
Yeah.
So I did. And score one for Dave. Boom, boom. Anyway, shall we do, it's 10:15, shall we do Greeley Times?
Yeah.
Let's do Greeley. So we mentioned earlier in the show that Greeley Times is based on this column in the Greeley Tribune of phone calls that come in from concerned citizens who are dialing up the local police station because they want to report creepy potential things in their neighborhoods. Yes, my friends, Greeley Times here on this April 13th, 2024 edition of Dave's Gone By. So these are phone calls over the past month that people, they're real, that people called into the Greeley Weld County Police Station to tell a dispatcher and potentially a cop or a supervisor. Well, no, I'm expecting a call. There it is. I was waiting for that call. Oh my God.
Yeah,
let me get the mustard phone. Yep.
Oh, no, be careful in your ear, honey, with that.
Oh, all right. Well,
just don't use the megaphone one. Now use one of the.
I'll use it like an earbud.
Oh, yeah, okay, good. Yeah.
like half my goddamn students have it.
Yeah. Chicken. Use the chicken.
Where's the chicken? Oh, here's the chicken. Okay, here we go.
It'll be a nice contrast with your blue.
Yeah. Oh, it does. The yellow goes nicely.
Nice
all right.
contrast.
Here we go. Oh.
Oh wow, that's a new one. Look at him. He's clean and sparkly.
Yeah, but probably I can't hear.
Oh no.
It's gotta go down a bit.
Oh jeez.
Oh, now I can. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now it's good. Ah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Where are you from? Oh, 4th Avenue. Caller from 4th Avenue said, someone, left a dog to babysit, and the owner hadn't come back.
Oh, I thought they were making a dog babysit kids. That's cruel.
A dog too big, you're right. No,
that's
cruel. That would be awful.
No, he said no Kool-Aid for you.
Yeah, no, that would be even better, actually. But no, they left the dog there for them to babysit. And the friend had not come back. And it had been 6 months.
Whoa, I think you own the dog.
You are now eventually, and the dog's a squatter. That's how the New York Post would refer to it.
Uh-oh.
I can sense when the calls are coming in. It's funny. This is coming from a pharmacy
Oh no.
on 11th Street.
No, that's never good.
A caller at a pharmacy
It's
on.
never good when somebody is in need of medication and they call the police. That's not a good concept.
Well, I don't know what they're in need of because a caller at a pharmacy on 11th Street reported a man outside
Yeah.
holding a huge toaster.
Maybe he was trying to make panini. Come on.
I don't know what
You know, maybe he's an independent. He's trying to have a business. You know.
and how. I mean, I've seen toasters. There's no such thing as a huge.
No, like a 4-slice one.
Even a 4-slice
Most
toaster.
people are used to 2-slice, so if they see a 4-slice
Oh.
toaster, they might be.
They might think it's a Proctor Silex.
They might think it's like for industrial. Maybe it's an industrial. Maybe he's trying to fix the toaster for a diner.
Oh,
On
maybe.
11th, there's a diner. We know the diner that was burned down. That one.
Yeah. Or maybe he's just too poor to actually make toast because he doesn't have the bread. Or maybe he just doesn't have the dough. Yeah. He won't get burdened again. Oh, okay, another call. Wait, I gotta take this one on the other phone. Hold on.
No.
Yeah.
Is it emergency?
This is the hotline.
Oh God.
All right. Yeah. If you were listening like half an hour ago and wondering what the hell the show is, this is the show. So a caller at a convenience store. Yeah, that was a convenient ring. A convenience store on 2nd Avenue said that a woman in the store had been there for an hour and a half trying to use the phone.
But that's okay. What's wrong with that?
Well, I mean, if somebody's just sort of standing there trying to get her phone to work.
Or you mean like a phone in the convenience store?
I imagine just she's standing there working, trying to figure out her cell phone.
Well, sometimes we've been there. Sometimes it's hard.
I know, but for an hour and a half in the store?
I think the nature of a convenience store is you're supposed to be in there 5 minutes or less, grab something and go.
Right, so if someone's there for an hour and a half.
They don't have shopping carts. Like, you're not supposed to go around. You're supposed to just grab.
Yeah, it's like a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
You go in, let me have that hot dog from 1962.
Yeah, and I'd like a slushy, and then I'd like maybe a water.
Yeah, let that delicious Slurpee with the antifreeze coolant in it.
I would like some Slurpee, some WD-40, some windshield wiper fluid, some lottery tickets, and a burrito.
All in the same cup. Yeah, right. Yeah. But I can, this phone is sometimes giving me fits in terms of losing the Wi-Fi or losing the call.
Maybe an hour. She's just.
Yeah.
Maybe
But no, an hour and a half is like, which is the speaker?
No, maybe she's downloading something. Like she's downloading an app or something, or she's having. I don't know.
I couldn't even begin.
She's not doing anything wrong.
No, well, she's loitering. If she's not buying anything,
yeah.
and maybe she's strange, and maybe it's a little bit like, police, can you just, what do we do with her? We can't. It's not right for us to ask her to leave because she's not doing anything wrong. But what the hell is she doing here? It's like when someone goes into a restaurant bathroom and is there for 45 minutes. There's a certain point at which, you wonder what's really going on.
Toilet shower.
I've done that. No.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, it was quiet there for a moment, and then the calls start coming, and we never get a break.
It depends on the day. It's probably the eclipse.
Well, it could be. Here, a caller on 5th Street said 3 juveniles,
Oh, no.
who uses that word anymore? 3 juveniles were passing around, quote, a pipe of pot.
Wow.
Play the pipes of pot. The caller couldn't tell if they were male or female because they all had long hair. Welcome to woke America, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I bet you they were dodging the draft.
And they were wearing hoods. So, long hair. I hate hippie Klansmen.
I think they were druids.
That could be. They're funny. They don't look Jewish. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Greeley time. Oh, wow. Another call already. Who could it be? I'm on. I'm lit. A caller. Oh, we don't even know where this is coming from. This is from an unknown address.
How can that be?
Maybe it's a ghost town. Maybe it's an extinct town.
It's alien.
It's from Abel, Colorado.
I believe it's alien.
It could be. It could be.
I don't think they have a phone in an extinct town, though, baby. There's nothing.
A telegraph.
Oh, yeah.
A caller telegraphed from an unknown address wanting to speak with an officer
Oh, no.
regarding a shooting at an apartment complex 30 years ago.
Whoa, uh-oh. Maybe they want to, are they confessing?
That's the thing about these things. They don't follow up.
But that's like a lot of those crime shows. Like a lot
Yeah.
of the crime shows, like I watch the ones that they solve later, like cold cases. A lot of times it's somebody who has like a guilty conscience, and they're like something they did, or somebody told them a story. Like it could be 30 years ago, and then they're like, "Oh, I want to tell you this happened."
Yeah. No, this is a legit
Yeah, yeah.
thing. I mean, you would call the cops if you suddenly have a cold case thing, or the real tragic thing. Apparently, it happened 30 years ago, and that is how long this person had been on hold.
Oh my god!
They finally got to her call.
That's why she was in the 7-Eleven from an hour.
I have the feeling I'm
I'm
I started.
next. I'm 156th. Oh, please wait.
She's starting as the 97,000th caller. Your call is important to us.
Please hold. You can leave an email or a callback number, or just stay on the line.
For para el shooting, marque el ocho. Oh man.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I was enjoying the quiet, and then the phone rings again. All right, I got it. I'm gonna take this on the goat phone.
Oh, yeah? What?
This is just the stupidest show. Why do I do this every week?
Honey,
This
look
is
at yourself.
moronic.
Look at yourself. I can't hurry. Wait, give me your phone. I will show you yourself looking.
Oh, I don't want to. I'm not sure I want to see that.
I have to ask you to hold the goat phone. Just give me a second.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna put the goat phone on hold. Yes. We were gonna get the biblical one, which is a goat of many colors. Yeah. Oh, there. Oh, yes. Yes. There I am.
Holding the goat upside down.
Oh, do you want me to show that? Well, by the time I show that, but all right.
You can show yourself talking.
Here, this is gonna be a cluster. This is gonna be like. Oh no, it flipped. It flipped to me.
David,
Oh, hello.
Click on this here. Click on this right here. You click on the image. What did you do to yourself? You're like
You hand me the phone, my finger goes somewhere.
Like a bear. Okay, just touch the side.
That's what she said.
Okay.
When you touch the side, like.
No, there. Don't touch it. That's you.
All right, here. Oh, this is it. Yeah, there I am. Okay, look at me. Probably with a 7-second or 10-second delay, or something like that. Wow, yeah, it's going back to me holding the phone, and I'm picking up the phone, and here I am. Boy, I look like I have jaundice.
That's the yellow chicken.
That's my pee backing up in me.
It's the yellow chickens are making it that
The
way.
color correcting in a weird way. Anyway, Oh yeah, there was a phone. There was a new phone. A man called Greeley police because someone used his brother's name while getting arrested in Colorado. Now the caller's brother, who lives in El Paso, Texas, keeps getting arrested because of the Colorado man's outstanding warrants. But I wonder about that. Like, what happens if your name is something like John Smith or Bob Johnson, and you break the law, and like every time there's a Bob Smith anywhere, it's like he keeps getting arrested, but it's not me. I have to run a check every time. I wonder about that. Unless it was literally like a fraud thing, like the guy gave the name, address, and so forth of this brother, and the poor brother's on the hook for everything. I don't know. Oh, wait, I gotta search for something for our next call. Oh, got it. So now I can't find it. A man lost his driver's license and wanted to know how to find it. Not calling the DMV for a new one, but like, hi, I miss somewhere. It might be in the laundry. I looked in the laundry.
They pray to St. Jude.
But they should do that. There should be a way, if they can do it for like car keys, and I wish I had that.
But you have to like put a chip or something in
Yeah.
it. The man obviously has problems.
Well, credit cards have chips.
No, but
so,
not your card, not your driver's license.
But I'm saying there should be, where's the person going on Shark Tank who says, you know what, on the most important things that you own and carry around, like credit card, driver's license, birth certificate, your wallet. Like, where the hell's your wallet? Where's your car keys? Where's your house keys? You put a little thing on them, and you program it, and you can go doot doot doot, and within something like a 200-foot radius,
Yeah.
it'll beep. there's an idea whose time has come. I don't know why you can't. I would grab it. I would grab it definitely because I'm always, when I use one of my credit cards, I always kind of put it. I want to get off the line quickly and let other people go, so I don't stuff it back into my wallet. I just put it in my pocket, and half the time I forget that it's not in my wallet anymore. It's in my pocket, or I lay it down, or it goes in the wash. So if I did that, I was like, "Where's my credit card?" I was like, "Oh, beep beep beep," like one of those things they use on the beach looking for metal. Not a divining rod is for water. Well, a metal detector. Yeah. Anyway, let's do a couple more of Greeley times. Aha. Let me communicate with this person.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a worker for a communications company on North 50th Avenue who said that a woman would not allow him on her property to finish laying fiber optic cable. I guess she doesn't want to get cancer or something. The caller said she kept letting out her aggressive pit bulls to keep him away.
Wow.
This one means business, let me tell you. I do feel bad for people who have to do that, like mailmen. And
I saw one of the cutest thing. It was a woman, a mail carrier, and there was someone walking there, like small dog, but still big enough to be like yikesy baba. And she put her hand down and it petted her. She petted him.
Oh.
But my cousin before he worked for UPS, he was a mail carrier in New York.
Yeah.
And he said they gave him mace because sometimes.
Yes.
But not all, but also people. Like you don't know. Like you're going. Like.
I carry a gun.
Yeah. When my mother did home care as a nurse and she went in people's homes, they told them like, when you enter a house, get a lay of the land, see who's in the home. Like if you feel unsafe, but they get assaulted too, like nurses and doctors and.
Yeah, I was not, it was not my greatest job ever. But remember, there was a point when I took a job as a census taker for the government. I went from house to house in a nice neighborhood, and a lot of people were nice. A lot of people avoided me. One woman, was kind of rude, so I kicked over a sign on her lawn when I was leaving. But it's kind of like. I get where they're coming from, but I have a fucking job to do. Just tell me how many people are in your household,
I know.
But thank goodness I did not. If I did that day after day for weeks, eventually I encounter a dog.
No, but also like when you're doing stuff, like if you have to,
Yeah. So.
Oh.
There's a call. This call's all the way from 35th Avenue in Greeley.
No, 8th and 8th, honey.
A caller on 35th Avenue reported a man sitting against a fence. And the caller was worried if the guy was on private property.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, that's not much.
A man was sitting against a fence, and someone called the police on him because it's possible that this was like a public fence.
Oh, wow.
Is that a little bit of a busybody, do you think?
What's the world coming to?
I can't. Well, you know what we're coming to? We're coming to elsewhere time. Because on Greeley Times, we not only do stories from and around northern Colorado in this column from the Greeley Tribune, but we take a story or two from elsewhere in the world, other places. What's showing up there? Let me get that. I can't tell what minutes is this.
What?
Oh, it must be. It's the teeth. No, it's not the teeth.
I'll tell you. What's your problem?
It's not the goat. It's not the this. It's not that goes over there. We're just finding this thing on the edge of what is on the right side of my screen. What does that look like? It's not the mug.
It's your name. It says David.
No, under the Mission Barbecue thing. I can't even tell. It's not the bell.
What do you see? Show me where you see something.
Oh wow, I see something that you're not seeing even on there. That's weird. That is strange. I know. I just saw
You're pointing at something
that isn't there.
Yes,
I do that sometimes. Okay.
Your name appears there, but that's it.
Maybe it's this. Nope. Whatever it is, it's not showing. It's not showing on your screen. That's weird. It's where the name would be. Something I'm seeing. Well, I can always spin it that way. Oh, it's a magazine. It is.
I don't know what.
But it is not showing on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay.
Maybe when Facebook takes Zoom, it does some kind of. Oh,
Yeah.
I see it now. When
Yeah,
you
yeah,
moved it.
I'll move
You fixed it. Good.
Okay.
You look great.
Anyway, thank you. Let's go elsewhere. This
Oh.
is an elsewhere time where we get stories not from Colorado, but just because they're weird. Okay, so here's both of them. We got two elsewheres today, and they have to do with what happened earlier in the week. Where were you, and did you even bother to deal with
Jazz hands?
eclipse?
No, I didn't because I have so many problems with my vision. I didn't have glasses.
Well, no, yeah.
Some people had them. I didn't want to share people's glasses because like that, I don't want to share people's stuff. Like I didn't really have the ability to see it, and I don't want to lose any vision. I saw it in Colorado, and they played like She Blinded Me with Science, Total Eclipse of the Heart. You know, we had we had a fun time, but I didn't see it. Yeah.
Oh, well, I sort of tried. We went to vision crafters. We went to there. Nobody had glasses. By the time we were looking for them, nobody had a pair of. Because I would have kind of looked. And there's a very, very funny Gilbert Gottfried bit about eclipses. It's like in ordinary times, of course, it's fine to look directly at the sun. It's beautiful. Just look, stare at the sun all you want. But no, during an eclipse, no, when the sun is covered over in shade, this is when you should not look at all. This is when it will hurt you. I mean, it's very, very funny. And it's kind of true. So before the eclipse started, I kind of took a quick glance at the sun. I was like, my eye is really bright. And then I just kind of was in the backyard looking around for the change in the light, but obviously not looking directly at the sun. Or when a cloud would pass by, I would look up a little bit. And it was a big night. I expected it to get dark, right? But it wasn't that we didn't get totality. We didn't even get 90%. We got shit. We got nothing.
We had a bigger eclipse in Colorado,
Yeah, in Mexico, apparently, they got a really good one. Mexico. But I remember I called you, or I texted you at 2 o'clock. I'm like, I'm waiting. It was supposed to start at 2, but it started at 2 all the way down in the country.
I was on the phone with my colleague in Colorado, and they had a better show. She's like, and her office is in the basement. She has no windows or anything, but her colleague was like, come on, let's go. And it was like, go ahead, go, You know Nancy, she ran out to see it.
No, of course. So this is a godlike thing. This is a reminder that the universe is bigger than any one of us. But if I had just been sitting in my office, heavy cloud cover, remember we got a storm coming. I mean, there's literally, it got darker, and then the light did get a little weirdish after the eclipse, as it did last time when we were in Colorado. It has this otherworldly, Kodachromy feel to it, but not much. And I was like, where's the real darkness? If you ever read the Annie Dillard piece on the eclipse, where people lose their minds during it because it's just so otherworldly, and it's no. But the eclipse coverage, according to a couple of stories that we have here, was nuts. This comes out of Mexico, story in the New York Post written by Ronnie Reyes. This eclipse coverage was nuts. A Mexican news outlet is getting ridiculed for showing viewer-submitted footage of Monday's solar eclipse. Why? Well, the show's 3 anchors fell prey to a well-known prank in Latin America.
Oh, no.
I did not know this was a well-known prank. Are you guessing it? Yeah. As the male host was listing the cities from where the eclipse could be enjoyed, the clips being presented on the left side of the screen cut to a man blocking out the sun with his testicles.
Why didn't they check the clip?
Because they're on the air, they're live. There's
no.
viewer. Somebody, of course, should have checked the clip.
Yeah, but you can't show that.
One of the 2 female anchors gasped in shock, while her male colleague carried on, ignoring the obscene image.
Oh, hello. Happy Friday.
And by the way, I'm not going to show it, but I did say it's very, very funny. You just see these testicles hanging.
I don't understand why they wouldn't check it.
And right, the clip is only 5 seconds long. You might as well,
Yeah, like what? Maybe they wanted. Maybe the person who showed it wanted to do that purposefully.
Oh no, I don't think the host or.
No, but maybe the people who picked the clips.
Oh, maybe. The anchor told viewers that clips were submitted by viewers, and that wanting to share fans' experience in almost real time could lead to these kinds of oopsies. This is,
That's a big oopsie.
Now, I did not realize this was a common prank in Latin America. It is not uncommon for people to share clips of a so-called testicular eclipse online during a solar event. They did it in Chile in 2019. And even Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee got in on the gag. briefly posting a similar video on his Instagram page this week. But Monday's incident in Mexico may be the first time a scrogal eclipse.
Oh, of the heart, yeah.
That's thank you, Ronnie Reyes, for that. A scrogal eclipse made it onto TV, and one user on X took credit for the prank, writing, quote, "Greetings to all my people from Saltillo who had to watch my eggs on television."
Whoa, the guy who did it wrote?
Yeah, alleged.
Oh, okay.
But apparently it was him. Because the media neglected to review the video carefully. I love them. And I have to say, well, you know what? He showed that on TV. But at least we can get to see his black hole. And by the way, I certainly hope the editorial staff there got sacked.
Did they?
I don't know. I don't know the
Did you get
remedy.
fired for that, David?
It's probably an intern who's checking that. So you fire an intern, what are you losing? You know, it's unpaid labor. But no, somebody should get reprimanded. You can't. You can't. But it is funny. If you go searching for scrogal eclipse and you go looking for videos, there's nothing sexual about it. It's just freaking funny. By the way, we have another eclipse story from elsewhere. This one from Los Angeles, California. Not quite so hilarious, but actually perfect for the week that OJ died. In a tragic incident, an astrologer in the United States reportedly killed her husband and kids because she was fearing bad effects from the solar eclipse.
Wow.
Danielle Johnson, that's not her real, that was her like astrology stage name, who provided spiritual services like aura cleanses and zodiac readings, stabbed her husband in the heart. Then she took off in a Porsche Cayenne with her two daughters. You know they named a Porsche after a pepper?
That's weird.
A Porsche Cayenne with her two daughters, one 9 years old and the other only 8 months, only to shove them out of the car while driving on a highway. The 9-year-old survived. Before committing the crime, Johnson had told followers that Monday's total solar eclipse in North America was, quote, the epitome of spiritual warfare, unquote.
She sounds like she has postpartum.
She was fucking nuts,
So
yeah.
she
Of
probably
course,
has
yeah.
postpartum. I mean, that's like, why didn't one of the viewers say like, like, that's like it's off the charts,
Yeah.
right?
She texted, she tweeted.
Oh, so when
Yeah.
I put your I Feel Victorious, David Sheward, Paul Dellett, and Noreen Sterling gave you thumbs up.
Thank
so
you, guys.
I guess I don't know, maybe they're happy that you had your victory.
I beat the man. I beat the Facebook man, and I beat the Synchrony Bank man.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, I was not there to beat Danielle Johnson before she killed her family. But she texted. She stabbed her husband in the heart. He died, and she threw her daughters out of the car. The 8-month-old died.
Oh my goodness.
The 9-year-old lived.
Oh my goodness.
And she's gonna have an interesting teenhood.
But can you imagine that child, right?
Yeah.
But she killed the father. Okay.
Yeah, he stabbed and they bled all over.
Oh my lord.
But this is the woman who last week tweeted, "Wake up, the apocalypse is here, but stay strong," she wrote. You got this.
No, somebody should have
You got this. Johnson did not stay strong. She died when her Porsche Cayenne collided with a tree at 100 miles per hour.
Wow.
While eclipses have historically been associated with apocalyptic beliefs,
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah.
scientists dismiss these notions as unfounded. Meanwhile, the late Danielle Johnson had built up an X following of 100,000 viewers. Her spiritual and support network, unquote, allowed fans to have their auras and energies cleansed for a small price per month. Yeah. Well. So, I mean, her husband did have a total eclipse of the heart.
No, that's like it's trouble.
A little bit.
You
So,
always wonder why, why people don't reach out, because you can buy into people. There's all kind of original beliefs of what happens when there's an eclipse or full moon, right? So people can say things that are extreme, but that's really I often wonder are people, But maybe if they're feeling ill like that, they pass and they say like, "Oh, I'm fine" and everything. And they just pretend.
Well,
it's
she's an
fine.
astrologer. She's just gonna be hippy dippy and saying crazy apocalyptic shit.
I know, but but murder is different. Like, how do people hide that? Like, I watched one of those shows. There was one girl. Oh my goodness, she's a young girl and she was dating somebody,
Mhm.
and she like killed her parents.
The person she was dating had killed her. Whoa. Yeah.
There's like.
Well, it makes Christmas really easy because you don't have to buy gifts for the in-laws.
No, but there's the thing. It's like, oh, like you don't like the person I'm dating, and then it goes like, but like people don't catch the extreme. That's what I don't understand.
Because I don't know. Well, you
People
expect a
don't wanna
psychic.
believe it. People don't want to believe it.
Yeah.
Something
No,
bad.
you expect extremes. If they weren't extreme, they wouldn't have followers. I mean, look at what was it, Walter Mercado. He dressed like a crazy flamboyant wrestler guy with makeup, and then.
But he never said anything like dangerous. He would read people's charts, but he wouldn't say like.
But he also didn't dress in a suit and a tie.
Oh,
He was obviously nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
He just was branding.
It was branding. Yeah.
It was just a good brand.
But that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like how nuts is nuts, and how much is playing nuts, and how much is not dangerous nuts. Look at our former president, Donald Trump. He says things that are lies or whatever. He's nuts, but he's also a pretty good president. It's kind of like you pay your money or take your chance. So there. Anyway, let's get back to one or two more Greeley times, and then we'll move on with more of the Dave's Gone By show. So, are we gonna have another? I think we have another phone call coming. Yeah. There it is. You're not gonna like this one. You're not gonna like the wording on this one here. Oh no, nothing like that. This is all the way on 47th Avenue.
Whoa.
But the wording is gonna make you mad. A caller. Oh wait, no, at a supermarket. What is that?
Show it here. It's especially because you have birds in your ears.
Joyce is scrolling from a sock bird? Oh, knock birds from the sky.
It says, "Daddy's, what's not birds from the sky."
And the bird's going like, fuck. Great. Oh, wonderful. Thank you for that.
Oh, I can't see it now.
A caller at a supermarket on 47th Avenue said an elderly lady backed into his car. Joyce has a thing about the word elderly because it's ageist.
We don't say that.
But she's an older adult lady backed into his car. When he tried to exchange information with her, they use it twice. The elderly lady told him to F off. She's a spry old bitch, isn't she? And hit another parked car and she drove away.
Oh, woo!
It's like Hell's Grannies on Monty Python. Wow, man. Well, no, not good for him. She backed into him, and then she backed into another car.
Every human being can have accidents, right? We know.
Well, please, that's why I wear diapers. But thank you very much. Now, remember we opened this up about half an hour ago with a caller who said someone.
We're talking about both the eclipse and your person in your show. She's combining both.
Oh, look at that! There you go. Conversation.
You're wearing eclipse glasses, and it's the show of your show. What do you call them?
Now, where did they get glasses? That's why we couldn't find glasses anywhere.
Oh, you know where people got it?
Where?
If you went to Sonic and you bought a shake, you got like a clip shake. You got glasses. That's what everybody told me afterward.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I don't know this stuff, David.
7 o'clock on Tuesday night. He's like, by the way, yesterday I could have gone to Sonic. I'm like, thanks. But here's one last one. So we started with days earlier about someone who was babysitting a dog and the owner never came back to claim it. A caller on 7th Street said a friend had been dog sitting for the past month and refused to give the dog back.
I think.
No, two different, same story? I don't know.
Two sides of the coin, baby.
Well, I guess they're both barking mad. That's Greeley Times, ladies and gentlemen, for this Saturday, what the hell is April 13th, 2024. We've got more show for you right after this.
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool.
He was not.
I'm sure that you'll agree with me that Greeley was no fool.
What he is getting at is that Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee-yi.
Yippee-yi, 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 yi-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi. Yippee!
Blah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is about 11:15 Eastern Time here in the Daverhood for our 939th broadcast. So we still have our Limerick to do. We have My Sick Mind and OJ Jokes. We've got Rabbi Sol doing story time and, of course, Dave's Big Dictionary, which I shall do brusquely. All that coming up, but ordinarily, I would say, you know what, we don't even have time for Bunion Watch. But we've got a special Bunion Watch today.
Did you bring the paper from ARP?
I did. We have the magazine here, so we're going to do that because.
Not only does your Bunion get out on AI, apparently print media focuses on your Bunion now too.
Well, maybe people are listening to the show and it's like, you know what? We should have more articles about bunions. National Geographic should be Time magazine, if that still exists, which I think it does.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Yeah. Well, no, not some of them. Life is
In
gone.
some form,
Yeah. Even Car and Driver, Road and Track, they should have articles, I believe, about bunions because your foot is on the pedal. So.
I think runners world.
Yes, actually, Runners World probably does, plantar fasciitis and things like
They
that.
probably have a lot of stuff about bunions.
Now, thank God I don't have plantar warts or fasciitis, but I do have bunions. I was born with them, and
I don't think you were born with them, David. You can't be born with them. They
Can't?
develop from pressure on your foot walking. You're were born maybe with some disposition, but they come from you walking on your
it's a
feet.
bone. It's a bone that grows.
No, but it moves out that way.
Really?
Yes.
So I didn't have bunions until I was like
Look
6.
at your baby shoes. You didn't have bunion humps in them. No.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
look at your baby shoes. They were bunion humpless.
So I made Bunion Humpless.
You had cute
That's a
little
great name for a character in a Vladimir Nabokov book. Bunion Humpless.
You say Novo? I say Novokov.
Uh,
You say it?
Nabokov.
I say Novokov. Am I wrong?
I might be wrong too. I haven't looked it up
No.
recently.
Like Master Margarita type, right?
Well, he wrote Lolita.
Oh, who wrote Master Margarita?
Bulgakov.
Who?
Bulgakov. Yeah. Anyway, Bunion Watch. So I'm gonna, I've been conscious of my bunions. Thank goodness, not because they've been hurting me, but because I have them. Because I'm proud of them. We were talking about men's testicles before. Some people are proud of they have nice eyes or they have nice legs. I have prominent bunions, particularly on my right foot. So, ladies and gentlemen, Joyce created a bunion pain scale for me. I have that ready. I also have this month's AARP magazine, including an article on how to fix your aching feet. Look how old Melissa Gilbert got. I didn't even recognize her.
I can't see that far yet.
But anywho, ladies and gentlemen, this is Bunion Watch.
She's Bunion, she really is a good one, she's Bunion. Listen, doctor, to my plea, it's time for bunionectomy.
Bunions, they're a pain on my feet.
Feet of mine have got to go, please get these bunions off my toes. My elbow my elbow bunions, painful, bunions, painful.
So as I said, my bunions, thank goodness, are not painful, but they are definitely there. And so I like to share with you, if not every week, most weeks, how my bunions are doing. Are they bigger? Are they smaller? So I'm just going to take these off, and I'm going to take my socks off. And we're going to do this right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready for Bunion Watch here. Oh! So here's sock number 1. Okay, here's sock number 2. Now let me try it this way. Let me see if I can do this without killing myself. All right,
No,
so...
please don't stand. No, David.
I'm good.
Oh, God,
Okay.
I don't like this one bit, David.
Now, ladies and gentlemen,
This is scary.
no, it's a chair. Let's see if this...
Oh,
Because
be careful.
I can put my whole foot up. Except it's so bright. Does it look as bright on...
Wait, let me look. You know what happens? It's very weird. Something happens with the camera in here. It gets very,
I'll show it this way.
Oh, my Lord. Okay, hold on.
There you go. or maybe against the black of my, or the brown of my trousers. That's my right foot bunion. Oh, looking good. Looking good, baby. Look at that.
Wow, how could you? That looks like your hand. Good for you.
Yeah.
with your
Well, that's why I'm
foot.
standing on the chair. I've never done this before.
Wow.
Isn't this exciting? This is my bunion. It doesn't hurt, and this is my right foot. Look how it's always pink like that. So
Yeah, you got one color.
I do. Now here's my left foot bunion, which is much smaller. Oh, there it is.
I'm gonna check the
So
comment.
all you foot fetishists, enjoy right now. Yeah. There. You can see, in terms of volume and mass, my left foot bunion is significantly smaller than my right foot bunion. Let me show it from this side. On the toes.
I'm gonna see if there's a gift for the word bunion. I don't know.
Oh, that would be so cool.
I don't know if there is.
So let me come on down because let me share what the AARP. Oh, I just put my foot on the cold metal.
Yes.
I felt that. I certainly felt that. Wow.
I'm searching for. I don't know how to search.
Wow,
for
I have a big head. There we go.
I need to search.
This is from the latest AARP magazine, How to Fix Your Aching Feet.
Happy,
Take a look.
sad, active, angry, confused. What would a bunion be?
It would be not confused. I think a bunion would know it was a bunion. It would be sanguine.
I don't think they have that.
It would be slowly growing. It would be
Well, let me do a gift.
sedentary, might be the word. Yeah.
I'm trying to find a foot image.
Well, while you're doing that, let me read from this article here. The tip sheet. It's a tip sheet of how to ease your aching feet or fix your aching feet. Here are some of the most common foot problems Brad Schaefer, a board-certified foot surgeon in the New York City metro area, has encountered in his patients and how they can be treated. Bunions! Described as, you're right, shoe-related calluses
It won't let me put in.
on the side of the big toe. They're deformities. Oh, good to know that I'm deformed. And I thought my hair lip was the only one. They're deformities that occur when an unstable mid-foot joint leads to misaligned bones. I guess that's what it is. It's an unstable, but it's shoe-related. Interesting. Treatment, relieve pressure and treat inflammation and or surgery, such as bunionectomy, osteotomy, and then a lapiplasty. What is I mean, you mentioned osteotomy, taking a bone out, but what the hell is?
I'll look it up.
What is lapiplasty? Are they putting in like a cushion inside under your skin?
Lappy?
LAPI, plasty. Because I'm curious about this now. I should probably look on here. I can do that also. Oh God, are they showing pictures? If they're showing pictures, I don't want to see. Lapid.
I think they're putting stuff in there.
Okay.
Mid-incision bunion surgery. So they don't go in the bunion, they go in the foot.
And
Here.
I don't want to see before and after photos. They're showing me this here. 3D bunion correction. Ooh. I guess you get cool glasses with that.
Initial swelling and pain.
So it's a newish
Bone.
procedure.
It says, unlike traditional bunion surgery where the bone is cut and shifted over, the lapiplasty 3D bunion correction uses instruments that have been specifically designed to rotate the bone back to its normal position.
Oh.
This naturally straightens the toe, removes the lump, and removes the pain. I'd rather have that.
Well, yeah, they just invented this in like 2020.
They're just repositioning it.
Yeah. It was the first in 2017, and 2 years later, dozens of procedures completed. He's perfected his technique and is involved with nationwide efforts to improve.
The advantages are faster recovery, reduced pain, and lower reoccurrence.
Ooh.
However, the drawbacks are cost, limited availability of surgeons, and possible complications.
Wow. A common misconception is that a bunion is simply an overgrowth of bone that can be shaved off. And so during an osteotomy or a lapidus bunionectomy, the surgeon cuts and shifts the top part of the bone over.
I think I'll just get our neighbor to do it. She does everything else.
Yeah. But he says an osteotomy is a two-dimensional solution for a three-dimensional problem. Lapiplasty, apparently, according to this doctor, addresses the root
Why
of
don't
the
you have
problem.
him on your show?
So,
Yeah.
I can have him on Bunion Watch.
Have him on
I wouldn't
Bunion.
understand what he's saying. He's like,
No, but
yeah.
you could do a diagnosis of your foot, like it could be telehealth. Free
He's a
telehealth.
surgeon. He's going to say, "Oh, I can correct that."
No, but you could look at it and he could give you some feedback on your foot.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You say the entire metatarsal bone is corrected in all three dimensions, restoring proper alignment while naturally removing the the bump, and straightening the toe.
I like that idea.
However, the unstable joint is then fused with titanium plates, which permanently secure the correction in place, although it can recur. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
As opposed to hammer toe, which I think bunions sort of cause, a hammer toe, common as we age, toes hammer or curl under, again, because of poorly fitted shoes. Proper shoes and insoles can help alleviate pressure and pain. There's also quick and minimally invasive surgery is another option. And then you got the plantars, fasciitis, which is I don't know anything about. Yeah.
Are you scared?
Well, I don't know. I mean, God forbid. That's the thing. Here's the deal. God forbid if my bunions do become painful, if they start messing with my foot,
That's the
I have
only
another
time-
option now.
But that's the only time I would deal
Yeah.
with it.
Oh, yeah.
Just put on a pair of Birkenstocks. You won't feel any pain.
Oh, no, but I mean,
The
also.
footbed of a Birkenstock. Look
Yeah.
how bad my bunions used to be worse. Look how they're better.
Are they better?
Yeah, look.
Wow.
Look.
Wow.
Look at my feet, right?
Yeah, I mean, you still have them, but they're not.
No, they're not as bad.
Yeah.
And it's because I'm wearing shoes
Good
that have an
shoes.
arch. And yeah.
Yeah.
If you did it, if I got you a pair of Birks and you let your little feet fly out.
I would wear a pair of
Like in
Birks, but they
summer,
won't
but-
fit because of my
No,
bunions.
they will. They're just look at with those legs and shorts and Birkenstocks. Ooh, baby, you would be
baby.
like hotsy totsy.
Yeah. But it's nice to know that, let's say in 5 years, if my
Yeah.
feet start hurting me terribly and I can't walk,
I
I would get
was saving
lapid-
up to get myself some pig organs. I was going to get you.
that's what I was going to say.
I
Yeah.
was going to get you a pig bunion.
Joyce is making a joke, but no, you don't want to talk about that?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, all right. It's a
But I'm
fantastic,
gonna get
happy
you,
thing.
I'm going to get you a pig bunion.
Where they
No, but the pig feet would be worse, right?
yeah, you wouldn't have that from. Do any other? I don't think no other animal wears shoes, so it would be rather
Well,
tough.
Some dogs are forced, and cats and circus animals.
Right, booties. They wear
Maybe
boots.
some circus animals have it.
Or I could get a transplant, but I wouldn't want another animal's bunion. That's the problem. I would
No,
want
that's true.
to get rid of my
I
bunion.
think you should get that doctor who does it and have it on your show.
I could get like a weird Dr. Moreau kind of thing that could take my bunion and implant it into a pig, and then see how the pig walks, like stumbles to the trough. And it's like, yeah, no, I don't want to get another animal's organ. I want to donate my bunion to another animal and see how it works. But anywho, it's 11 o'clock Eastern time in the Daverhood, and you're watching Dave's Gone By with me. And Joyce and all of you.
David's Mission Barbecue -5. Or we'll do the mission today or tomorrow. It's up to you.
One of the days. Well, we have to shop, so we're going to see what we're going to do. But we still have an hour of show left, and we have a lot to do because even though we did Bunion Watch and we did Greeley Times, my gosh, we still have Dave's Big Dictionary. We have My Sick Mind. We've got the Colorado Limerick of the Damned, and Storytime. So I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to do
You want to do story
the
time?
dictionary. Let me get Storytime going.
What do you feel like?
Yeah.
I'll make you stay.
While you're doing that, yeah, because it's going to be Rabbi Saul Solomon, and you don't like to be around when Rabbi Solomon's on. So, yeah, we're about a week and a half away from Passover. So Rabbi Saul Solomon is here to do something called Storytime. This began many years ago when we were on college radio, and I found a book at a gas station and decided to read
A cow
the
for
book.
Hansel.
A cow for Hansel.
Everybody has their dream.
And we read it cover to cover. And we may do a longer book cover to cover at some point, but for now we're generally doing shorter
What's the book?
books. Well, this is I'm giving Rabbi Saul the option here. So we have two different books here because it's Passover in a week or two. So we've got My Little Picture Bible by Diana Mayo.
Oh,
with
I
the
think that'd be
picture.
nice.
Yeah. And also we have a Moses book that will be for like next week or something. But also we found this in the free lending library.
No, I don't think. No.
Rabbi Saul might want to do a little bit of this book too. I don't think he's going to like the book very much, if at all. I think if he had, can you bring up one of those barbecue lighter things. Just so we can get this one flaming on the air. But no, so Rabbi Saul is gonna do a reading, maybe a little from this book, but certainly from the My Little Picture Bible, just to get us, I guess, towards the Passover story. Oh, look, they even have the baby Moses. So yeah, Rabbi Saul doing story time here on Dave's Gone By. So let's get up the music. I was waiting for that for story time on Dave's Gone By.
Tell me a story, tell me a story, tell me a story. Remember what you said. You promised me, you said you would. You gotta give in, so I'll be good. Tell me a story, then I'll go to bed.
Yidle didle didle die, yidle didle 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 doodle didle die, yidle didle. Shalom, shalom, my friends, shalom, my enemies. Happy post-Purim and almost Passover to you. I am Rabbi Saul Solomon, the founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And how delighted and thrilled I am to be here with you just before the big Pesach holiday, with all the eating of the special foods and the creating of the Seder. It's basically a really, really big pain in the tuchus, but it reminds us that we're Jewish. It reminds us of our freedom from slavery and our ability to live as free and safe people. Well, except for the last couple of months when the world has been going crazy. Anywho, what we're going to do, since we got the Passover thing coming, we have a book that I'm going to read for you, at least partially, My Little Picture Bible by Diana Mayo. And I think this is only Old Testament. If it's not, I'll just, it's got the Goyim in here. We're not going to touch that. But the Old Testament things we can do from My Little Picture Bible, I'm going to read to you, just like your papa, just like your uncle. You know, if you're having a nice thing, it's like, oh, read to me a story. I'm going to do that for you. Now, unfortunately, Dave also brought to my attention this book that they found in a lending, in one of these free libraries, because nobody would pay $1 for this thing. But in a lending loaner library, you leave a book, you take a book, you leave a book, you take a book, and it's this shit, Intifada, The Long Day of Rage, by the appropriately named David Pratt. Let's take a look at. Let's before we get to the Bible book, let's read a little bit from Intifada, The Long Day of Rage. I'm just going to take. Let me open the book here. Intifada. Oops. What have I done? I'm so clumsy. I cannot believe it. Well, I better take the whole thing off there. This is unfortunate. I can still read. The Long Day of Rage by David Pratt. Copyright 2006, by all rights reserved by this idiot. First published in the United Kingdom, because we know how they've always loved the Jews there. Let's begin. To my mother and father, I hope they're dead, and with love for Karen, who put up with all the worrying absences. You should go to hell and be absent forever. I accidentally. Oh, look what I just did. Oh, how I'm so clumsy today. I can't believe it. And then they have a thing from. A quote from Mark Twain, who writes Rings Around the Sky. Don't need that. Oh, of course, a map. A map. Does it have Israel on it? Do they even bother to put the country of Israel on there? No. Just West Bank. I need actual goddamn glasses for this. I can't read a fucking thing here. Hold on. Let's read this shit. All right. Here it is. See? Notice they call this. Do you see even the name Israel? Oh, they name it Israel. At least he does that. Let's see. And then a background to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. I mean, he's trying to be even-handed. Main Palestinian groups. Hamas, Fatah, Islamic Jihad, Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade. All these wonderful things that the Arabs have given the world. Abu Rish brigades and Hezbollah. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. The Palestinian, yeah. Nothing is neutral in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. No shit. If there's one thing as a journalist I've learned of almost 20 years covering this story, it's impossible to duck the political flack and downright vitriol that inevitably comes the way of anyone writing about this emotive issue. Anti-Semite, Zionist stooge. Tear that out there. Oh, oops. I cannot believe how unbearably clumsy I'm being. Normally I read a book, you know why? You know what? Because I'm Jewish and I do Hebrew, so I normally read. I should read from left to right, or right to left. This is like the Bible's. Let me read it backwards. This will probably help, and then I'll see what's going on here. Today we woke up and the sky was a different color. We have entered a new era, was how Palestinian chief negotiator Saeb Erekat described it. A new era it certainly was. An earthquake of election results where Hamas ended the 4-decade-long domination of the ruling Fatah party. And we all know just how well that worked out. So let me turn the page. Oh no. Oh my goodness. What my God. I don't know. I don't know what the well, I'm trying to read the pages here. Let me see what else we got. Let's see about, I don't know. Mujahideen guerrillas. Geez, I somehow spit all over this book. How does this happen? Let me blot it with my thing. I am such a klutz today. I cannot believe what I'm even doing. Now this page is wet. It's ruining the whole rest of the book. I'm going to put that there. All right. I think we're good. Mike, Russian compound. Oh, here's the book people who made this book. I just don't like postcards, so I'll tear that up. Well, I guess we can put this back in the book drop now for people who want to read more of this wonderful volume of War of the Stones and the bulldozer in the China shop. Oh, yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be very bad. Yeah, me too. And, of course, Rocket the Casbah, which is what we really should be doing, and Israel keep going and doing it. All right, we're good. Now let's get to the Bible. Now, or in a manner of speaking, My Little Picture Bible by Diana Mayo. So let's leave aside our modern woes, our modern worries, the fear that Israel's going to get bombed by Iran in a moment, and then, of course, all the college students will be, those poor Iranians. Let's turn the clock back 5,000 something years, or millions of years, really, to the Old Testament. And here it is. Look at that. It's a whale of a tale, ladies and gentlemen. Let us begin. God creates the world. In the very beginning, there was nothing at all. Nothing to see, nothing to hear, nothing to touch. It was black. Yes.
I put an ice cube in it, but it's hot. I gave you a new straw.
Hot tea with a new straw in it.
Straw for you.
Oh my God. Look, for the holidays, a new blue straw. The color of the Israeli flag. Oh, it's good. Thank you.
Special for you.
Thank you all so much. This is my helpmate and slave. I thank her so much there. God creates the world.
It was from Melvinstein.
That's still me laughing, although it seems like I'm breaking character. In the very beginning, there was nothing at all. Nothing to see, nothing to hear, nothing to touch. It was black and cold and empty. Yeah, kind of like Oprah Winfrey. All right. And God said, let there be light. What's wrong with my pants? That's better. Let there be light. Hold it. Let me work this. Black and cold and empty. Nothing. Oh, let there be light. There it is. Ooh, that's the special effect budgets on this program. And a dazzling light filled the darkness. And then God created land and the seas and the sky above, from Genesis chapter 1. And the earth burst into life with seed-popping plants. Kind of hip there. And sweet-smelling flowers, all budding and blooming and springing and sprouting and touching and loving and molesting. God made the sun to shine in the day and the moon to shine at night. which is not really true because this moon is just reflecting the sunshine away. Okay. God filled his world with all kinds of creatures, all chasing and racing, grunting and growling and roaring and howling, basically rednecks. How many animals can you name? Look at that. Whoa, whoa. Is that a platypus? That's a platypus. I love that. Yay, that is cute. Then God created man and he fucked up everything. And woman, and he fucked her and then fucked up everything, to share his wonderful world and to take care of it for him. So after 6 days, God had created the world and everything in it. So on the 7th day, he grabbed a beer, he rested. Now we get to the Garden of Eden, which is many, many millennia later, but somehow it's only chapter 2. The first man and woman were called Adam and Eve, and God loved them. He put them in a beautiful garden called Eden to enjoy everything he made. Turns out, in later texts, you find out that Eve had terrible pollen allergies. And so a garden was not actually the best place for them. But eat whatever you like except the fruit of this tree, said God, showing them a tree in the middle of the garden. So this is God, we think of God as being sweet and benevolent. He's really being an asshole here. He's saying, I put this giant tree in the middle of a garden here. Look at it, it's beautiful, it's lush, it's filled with fruit. Don't eat it. I'm testing you. You're gonna go and do a bunch of other things, but don't eat this beautiful tree that's right in front of you with fruit dropping and hanging and lovely. It's like, don't do it. It's like, why? Why didn't you just put this goddamn tree somewhere all the way in the back of a swamp? Nobody would see it. Adam and Eve had the whole rest of the world to mess around in. No, he puts it right in front of them. This is it's coercion. It's when cops plant evidence. This is exactly what God is doing. He's like, we'll have a car, we'll have the keys in the car and the windows open and the 8-track running, and then let's see if thieves go for it. Idiot. Now, but God warned them, if you eat from this tree, don't, because it's not good for you. But still, for a while, everything was perfect. However, one day, a sneaky snake slithered up to Eve. And we're not talking about Adam's penis. Why don't you eat that fruit? He hissed. It's delicious. They even put the extra S's here. It's delicious. God told us not to, said Eve. That's because he knows it will make you as smart as him, said the snake. Well, the fruit did look delicious, so she took a big bite, and then she gave it to Adam to eat. As soon as they swallowed the fruit, Adam and Eve felt awful. And if you ever swallowed a fruit in Greeley Village, you know how tasteless they can be. They tried to hide from God, but he found them. It was Eve's fault, cried Adam. It was the snake's fault, sobbed Eve. Don't blame me, hissed the snake, and he slithered away. Well, God was angry. They had broken their promise, so he sent them out of the garden and into the Nassau Coliseum. Now we jump all the way to Noah's Ark. God, at least that's a moral story that makes sense, though. You figure, they disobeyed. God told them the one thing not to do, it's the one thing they did, and they were punished. This does have a moral allegory, unlike so many other things in the Bible where people just suffer. God felt sad. Wow. The beautiful world he had created was full of wicked people. So he decided to sweep everything away in a rushing, gushing flood of water, or as we like to call it, an enema. Everything except Noah and his family. They were the only good people left in the world. So God told Noah, build an enormous ark with enough room for you and your family and a male or female of every living creature. Of course, in modern Bibles now, you have to include transgender animals that are creature questioning, right? Don't forget to take plenty of food, said God. So the sky grew dark and gloomy, kind of like the eclipse. So Noah marched the animals 2 by 2 into the ark, from gangly giraffes, I like this, and tough tigers, to roly-poly penguins and teeny-weeny spiders. I like that. I guess they're cousins of the itsy bitsy spiders. These aren't near a water spout, although there's going to be plenty of water soon. Because then the rains came. And the rain didn't just pitter and patter, it poured and splattered and became a terrible flood. There was ear-cracking thunder and blinding white light and white heat messing up my mind. So much rain fell that even mountains were covered. Nothing survived except the animals jam-packed onto Noah's watertight boat. Jam-packed. Always wondered about this. Nobody packs jam. You put it in a jar, you put the jar, nobody takes jam when it's like full and says, let's put more jam in there and pack it because it just spurts out the side. There's nothing packed about jam. Sardines I get. So you pack something in. A suitcase, you ever go to a suitcase and you pack it, it's beautiful, and then you open it in the hotel and now you have to close it again and it seems like there's 10 times as now you're jam packing. But there's no packing of jam! This annoys me. But at last, the rain stopped. The waves grew smaller, and the sun peeked out from behind a cloud. Unsure if anything else survived, Noah released a raven to search for dry land, but it flew back empty-beaked. Then Noah sent out a dove, which came swooping back with an olive branch in its beak. This is, of course, a symbol of peace, so they shot it and ate it. It had found land. And there it is. Look how pretty. Look how lovely this is. The illustrations here. Hey, can you find the animal pairs? No. I think we can. Essentially, there. Safe and sound on solid ground, the animals spilled out of the ark, and God made a dazzling rainbow in the sky to show His love for all living things and for the LGBTQ community. Now we get to Abraham, the creator of our people in a way. God told Abraham, kill me a son. Abe said, man, you must be putting me... No. God told Abraham to go to a new land. He said, pack up your belongings, and I promise you will be the father of a large family. And Abraham was like 90 years old at this point. It's like, I should live so long. And he did. So Abraham traveled to the new land with his wife Sarah and his herds of animals. One night, Abraham looked up at the twinkling stars, all shimmering and glimmering and winking and blinking, and God said, Abraham, your family will be like the stars in the sky, more than you can count, which is, Abraham was versed in geometry and algorithms, so he could count pretty high. So Abraham and Sarah thought they were too old to have children, but God kept His promise, and they had a son named Isaac, or as we like to say, Yitzchak. Or, as I sometimes say, Yitzchak. Joseph, and funny, they leave out the happy little story where God tells Abraham, I gave you this beautiful child, you've been raising him, now go kill him. And then God says, again, just kidding, just teasing, just testing you, just funning you. They leave that one out of the book here. But they do get to Joseph and his coat of many colors. Isaac's son Jacob had 12 sons, and Joseph was the favorite. One day, Jacob gave Joseph a brand new coat, and it was as colorful as a rainbow. Next to it, his brothers' coats looked old and drab. They began to hate Joseph. Suddenly, there's a book full of Arabs, and then their kente cloth things. I don't know why they all look like that. It's pretty, though. Gotta say that. How many colors can you see? Which is really, phobic to the colorblind. The brothers were taking care of their father's flocks. As the goats bleated and the sheep went bah, they plotted to get rid of Joseph. And that's when a caravan of camels came by and pommels. The traders were on their way to Egypt with sweet-smelling perfumes and exotic spices. Let's sell Joseph as a slave, said one of the brothers. So they ripped off his coat and sold him to the traders. We'll say a wild animal killed him. Then they dipped his torn coat in animal blood and told their father that Joseph was dead. So many pranks in the Bible. That one's particularly... Isaac really got punked. You got to say that. Joseph, however, winds up in Egypt, and he was sold as a slave. He worked very hard, and his master liked him. And then someone told a lie about him, and he was thrown in jail. There he met the king's baker and cupbearer. It's a shame they don't have cup-bearing jobs. You don't find that on LinkedIn, right? It's like, well, what is your skill set? Well, I worked in a restaurant. Oh, I can bear cups. And there's cup jobs for $37,000 a year. They should have this. Last night, I dreamed that I squeezed 3 bunches of grapes into the king's cup. This is essentially a homosexual dream, but we'll take it literally here. Said the cupbearer, what could this mean? In 3 days, the king will give you back your job, said Joseph. Then the baker told Joseph his dream. Well, I was carrying 3 baskets of bread to the king when some birds swooped down and pecked at them. I'm sorry, Joseph said. You know what? In 3 days, the king's going to have you put to death. Joseph told me that, and I was the baker there. I'd punch his fucking lights out. Even if it were true, even if he wasn't trying to be, I would just be like, bearer of bad news, And everything that Joseph said would happen did happen. Now, the king of Egypt was worried by 2 dreams. We're setting up for Passover here because Passover now we're in Egypt. The king of Egypt was worried by 2 dreams. I saw 7 fat cows grazing by the river. This was a Richard Simmons exercise video. When 7 skinny cows came along and ate them up, said the king. In my second dream, I saw 7 plump ears of corn growing in a field, when 7 shriveled ears of corn sprouted up and swallowed them. So the king sent for all his wise men and magicians, but no one could tell him what his dreams meant. Then the cupbearer remembered Joseph. He said, hey, both dreams mean the same thing. Joseph told the king, you're going to have 7 years of good harvest, followed by 7 years of famine. Store up the grain in the good years to feed the people during the famine. Well, the king was really pleased with Joseph, and he put him in charge of Egypt, because some guy who has a guess is right really should be running matters in an incredibly political way. The famine spread far and wide. Joseph's father, remember him, sent his sons to Egypt to bring back food. Now, Joseph's brothers did not recognize him because, he had a mole and some skin cancer and things. Don't you know your own brother? Asked Joseph. Now, his brothers were terrified, but Joseph actually forgave them and told them, bring Isaac back to Egypt. Jacob cried with happiness when he saw Joseph. Happy ending, happy reunion. And now, do a little bit more of this book because we get now to the Passover story of the baby Moses. Joseph died in Egypt. His people, the Hebrews, or people who brew beer, grew in numbers there. The new king did not remember Joseph. So he made the Hebrews his slaves. Gee, how often is it that a new regime comes in and the Jews get treated like shit? It happened 20 million times in history. As their numbers multiplied, the king felt threatened. Kill all the baby boys, he ordered. However, one mother made a plan to save her baby. She made a basket out of river reeds and rushes, and she put her baby inside and let it float like a tiny boat hidden in the tall papyrus. So it's a book for 7-year-old children. Don't know the word papyrus. I don't know the word papyrus. Sounds like a virus. Her daughter Miriam kept watch. Soon the king's daughter came down to the river to bathe. She found the baby and took him back to the palace, and she named him Moses, because, she drew him out, Moshe, raised him as her son. And now we come to, of course, the burning bush, which, Vagisil will help with that. Moses grew up in the royal palace, but he was unhappy because his people, the Hebrews, were slaves. He fled the royal palace to raise sheep in another land. Well, one day, a nearby bush burst into flames. It wasn't W, which I wish it could happen. The fire flickered and flashed, but not one leaf fizzled or fried. Someone likes alliteration just a little too much. Then God spoke, tell the king to free my people. You will lead them to a new land, possibly Acapulco. And then we get to, I'm going to save this no, let's do the 10 plagues, and then we'll call it a day, because we were plagued by that Intifada shit. Moses returned to Egypt and asked the king to set free the Hebrews. But the king said no. So God sent 10 plagues down on Egypt. The waters of the Nile turned to blood. which is, not pleasant to drink. I mean, you can add seltzer and maybe some bitters, but still. There was a flood of frogs, all slimy and slippery. I always found frogs cute. Little too cute to be a plague, even if they're all over the place. Annoying gnats that buzzed and bit. Okay, not nice. Filthy flies. Dead cattle by the cartload. And then, now they get bad. Blistering boils that burst out on people's skin. Heavy hailstones hurtling down. Swarms of locusts gnawed and nibbled, and a dreadful darkness fell. And finally, worst of all, every firstborn son perished. So, at that point, the king was like, gave in, told the Hebrews to go. And so Moses led the Hebrews out of Egypt, essentially to SeaWorld. Not sure what it is. Anywho, this is essentially the beginning of the story of the Pesach, the Passover, that will be happening for Jewish people in just a week or two. So it is a delight for me to read my little picture Bible with beautiful illustrations and a wonderful retelling of the best loved stories from the Old, and you should mention it, the New Testament, bringing the Bible to life to young children. It is rather gorgeously illustrated, as you can see. Let's just see. I need a laugh. I need a little bit moment of joy and happiness here after all that stuff. This makes me happy. Okay, I'm Rabbi Sal Solomon. And I'm from Temple Sons of Bitches. If you want to know more about me and read my rabbinical reflections and watch the stage show that I did off Broadway a few years back called Shalom Damn It, An Evening with Me, they're all there at my website, shalomdammit.com. Shalomdammit.com. And then surf around and upload and download and touch yourself, whatever you want to do to the website, shalomdammit.com. I expect I will see you again next week here on Dave's Gone By. I want to thank so much David for letting me have this time to share with you on this program. I wish you a very happy week planning for Passover. And also, let me send up a little prayer for Israel, since they supposedly have this Iron Dome that didn't work so well back in October 7th. But maybe when Iran launches its missiles at us in a day, 2 days, whenever the hell they do it, may the missiles bounce off, hit the Iranians, kill them, and as they're flying through the air, may they fall on and kill the Palestinians. Lullaby. I'm Rabbi Sal Solomon, and I will see you next time. I don't want my story time music. I need my klezmer music right here, ladies and gentlemen. You know the sound of it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Dave's Gone By Facebook podcast, the programmio of the stream with me, Dave Lefkowitz. So yes, as Rabbi Saul said, do check him out at shalomdammit.com. And also remember to check out my website, davesgoneby.com, for all the archives and information about the show. Plus, don't forget that I have my own website of my writing, which is davelefkowitz.org. davelefkowitz.org. This is not directly related to the program. This is just my theater reviews, my interviews with people, famous people written over the years for places like Long Island Pulse and Long Island Woman magazine and my plays and my songs and song lyrics. The place for that is davelefkowitz.org. Please do check that out. Especially if you have a theater company or something like that and you're looking for funny plays to do, they're all there. And I would happily just to have them done, just to have them read. I don't expect them to make a ton of, or a half a ton of, or a quarter ounce of money from any of this, but I would just love to see my shows done and have people enjoy hearing and reading and seeing them. So there you go. Anyway, it's 11:30 in the morning, Eastern Time, here on this April 13th, 2024. Joyce is back with me here. How you doing, Joyce?
Good, how's your tea?
Oh, tea's delish. Thank you very much.
I put ice cube because last time you said it was too hot, so I put just one ice cube.
Mm.
And that's the new straws you got. It looks lovely.
Yeah,
how's it working? Good?
It's good, but at the same time, it sucks. That's a straw. You know what? We have all these others. I can't find them. This is the last straw. Okay. Anywho, we still have more to do.
Whenever I do this, you should do dancing.
Or potato chips.
What's up with his hat?
Yeah, his hat is barely on. I don't know how to.
David, don't do that, please.
But this one's all right.
Very
Ah. And scene.
Oh, wow.
So, wait, I can go where to put this. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have our Colorado Limerick of the Dam to do. We have Dave's Big Dictionary to do. We have Friends of the Daverhood to get through. Oh, and My Sick Mind with jokes about. Oh, let's do the My Sick Mind. Let's get those done, and then I'm trying to come up with what I'm going to do about brusque for our Dave's Big Dictionary. So let's stall a little bit more. My Sick Mind is a segment that I do very rarely, but it does come up, and it has to do with something terrible happens in the news, a tragedy, or just someone dies, or just I want to make jokes about it because that's where I go. That is my sense of humor. It's dark, and I said, well, that's how you get through it. Everybody else is sad, and you just stave off with sadness. But no, I just have a sick sense of humor, and let's leave it at that. So I will find big, quote-unquote, sad story in the news and make terrible, sick jokes about it, just the way I do these Colorado Limericks of the Damned. Well, we all know that just a couple of days ago, Orenthal J. Simpson, a.k.a. OJ, died, finally. After all these years. I think he was 76 years old, and he had prostate cancer. And so what was OJ? Under other circumstances, OJ would have been famous for being an incredible running back. This really gifted, major athlete. Also handsome, not especially talented, but talented enough to be kind of funny in movies and to have small roles, if he even couldn't carry a film. I mean, he had the world on a play. He was like athlete. Any woman he wanted, he could have had and probably did. Any job promoting something or selling goods or his name on merch, he could have done. And did. And yet, what does he do? He loses his temper one fine night in Los Angeles and thinks that, I guess, was it his wife or his girlfriend? It was just his girlfriend. Nicole. Or maybe ex-wife even. It was really. So he feels that she's having it off with this nice Jewish guy named Ron Goldman. Maybe not so nice because he's banging OJ's wife. So and they said no, they were just friends, and he was just returning a pair of glasses to her. Whatever. OJ loses his cool, and maybe he was steroidal at this point. We don't know, but allegedly, he was found not guilty, folks. But he got mad. He got real mad at Nicole. And allegedly stabbed her a couple of thousand times, and then he got equally mad at Ron Goldman and almost basically decapitated him, killing them both. And then, after he does this, if you all don't remember this, or you weren't born yet, OJ gets in his Ford Bronco and drives away. He's just out for a drive, and he's going on a low-speed chase across these Los Angeles highways with all these cops chasing him at like 25 miles an hour. So it's not a chase, but it's also, he's not pulling over. There's 50 million fucking cop cars telling him, please pull over, sir. We want to check your license. And he maybe had the radio on really loud. Eventually, they get him. They find blood stains on the fucking vehicle. And they bring him to trial, where he says, no, it wasn't me. Because I have a friend who said, you never admit guilt. No matter how guilty you are, let them prove your guilt. Once you say you're guilty, you're dead. So it's like, never admit. So it doesn't matter. I didn't do it. And he has the money and the fame to hire the quote-unquote, literally, the dream team of lawyers, which included Johnny Cochran of rhyming fame and Robert Kardashian, who is Kim Kardashian's, the Kardashian clan dad, and other people like Barry Sheck and folks like that. And so the trial starts, and it goes on, and it goes on, and it goes on. This trial goes on, if you remember, a year and a half, with delays and expert witnesses and testimony and this and that and back and forth, until finally we all know that the jury, which is so unbelievably sick of giving over a year and a half of their lives to this nonsense, comes back with a verdict of not guilty. And the whole justice system exploded at that moment, because we all know he was guilty. He was guilty of sin, but the lawyers had spun so many threads, had thrown up so much smoke and mirrors at this, that a juror, after only 6 hours, I think, of deliberation, just said, fuck, enough. They didn't prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, and we are reasonably doubt. And every intelligent person in America went, are you kidding me? Are these jurors retarded? Is the judge, judge was kind of a moron, Judge Ito. But the point was, we all watched portions of the trial. And I remember when Barry Sheck, the lawyer, would get on there. And not Johnny Cochran with his posturing and his stupid, Dr. Seuss verse and all those. I remember when Sheck would get on there, and he would be very reasonable and very deliberate and very, down to earth explaining things. And I'd sit there and I'd go, whoa, wait a minute. I have reasonable doubt right now. Whether it's about gloves, whether it's about blood, about DNA, whatever, you would sit there and listen to him and you think, wow, the police haven't proved this at all. It's probable that he did it, but there's reason that could have been someone, this doesn't make sense. And suddenly, everybody points to some of the lawyers, F. Lee Bailey and people like that. It was Sheck, I think, who really did the most damage as a defense attorney of saying this and this and this. It really, if you're watching that, so we can all judge this jury sitting there and coming up with the most ridiculous conclusion that OJ was not guilty. But if you physically sat there and listened to all these lawyers' arguments, your head would really be so spinny from going like, I'm not sure. And if you're not sure, you can't vote to indict, or you can't say guilty, which is what happened. So now, all these backseat, quote-unquote, quarterbacks are saying, well, God, that stupid jury, and it's like, how could they do that, and how dumb were they, and how this one, and it's like, you weren't in the seat. You weren't there for a year and a half, sifting through thousands of pages of testimony and hours of live testimony. You're just seeing what immediate logic tells you that really nobody else could have done this. It was OJ. And OJ wasn't looking for the actual killers because he knew who the actual killer was. It was him, right? So, and of course, tons and tons of black people who had been oppressed and who had been tortured by cops and just railroaded by the American criminal justice system for decades, they used, of all things, the OJ verdict as a reason to celebrate. So here's this moment when they're hanging on bridges, they're dancing around, they're full of joy, they're full of wonder over the fact that a guilty black person got off because so many innocent black people before him were unfairly lynched, hanged, imprisoned, demeaned, and so forth and so on and so on. It was kind of like a little bit of payback, even though it was absolutely the wrong fucking moment to have payback, because OJ, as a civil trial later showed, was guilty of sin and a dangerous, nutty man. And when he didn't go to prison, years later to make money. He robbed a place. The man who was a Super Bowl like champion and this incredible athlete who could, obviously he couldn't get hired. Nobody was going to hire him as like a chaperone or anything like that. But he goes in and he does time in prison. Not to mention he died owing millions and millions of dollars to the families of Goldman and Brown, right? So this bastard, this animal, got away with it, but he didn't really get away with it. Right? Ultimately, in society, paid the price, but it's still maddening that there are thousands and thousands of people who kind of got a real great kick out of OJ beating the system, because the system has always been rigged against them. So this one person who does something unbelievably sick and horrible and gets away with it is like, yay! It's like, I can't even, it's like rooting for Hitler or Mussolini because they made the trains run on time. I can't even think of an analogy for it. But anyway, that's kind of the OJ story. OJ Simpson dead at age 76. And of course, there were tons of OJ jokes during the trial, on and on the late night shows. As a matter of fact, I did not know this, but there was, I read this week, there's an article about Norm Macdonald, who I never really found all that funny. When you read about Norm Macdonald, he's funnier than you actually see Norm Macdonald. But he was on Saturday Night Live for several years, and he was at the desk. He was the anchor for Weekend Update. And he would make sure to sneak in a lot of anti-OJ jokes, of making fun of, the world is safe for murderer kind of jokes again, week after week. And it caused a lot of problems at SNL because one of the high mucky mucks there was friends and was golfing with OJ and really did not like Norm Macdonald saying these really dark, nasty jokes about him. And ultimately, apparently kind of led to Macdonald being taken off the anchor desk and leaving the show. I'm not sure how 100% true that is, but there it is. But ain't nobody paying me tens of thousands of dollars to do this program. It ain't Saturday Night Live, right? Or an actual news program. It's Dave's Gone By. I can say what the hell I want. So I can make some of my own OJ jokes today to mark his death, because you're not supposed to speak ill of the dead, but Jesus Christ, it's O.J. Simpson. This is my sick mind.
My sick, my sick, my sick, my sick, my sick mind. Well, talk about bad taste. My sick, my sick, my sick, my sick, my sick mind. You sick little monkey.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in dishonor of the death of Orenthal J. Simpson, here are some brand new, although repurposed, some of them are repurposed old jokes, written by me, about O.J. Simpson. Send your complaint letters to davesgoneby@aol.com. Okay. What's the best thing about worms and maggots breakfast this week? Well, they're having O.J. Thank you very much. Hey, why will O.J. Simpson have a quick funeral? Well, because he was known for rushing. Yeah, because he was a pass rusher, and he had rushing yards. You need to know football for that one. But that was the cleanest one. That was the nicest one. Why? Wait a minute. When O.J. was having money troubles, he tried his hand at stand-up comedy. Yeah, he killed. That's a joke right there. That's a little comedy. I don't get it. Okay. Hey, I had one there, but I never wrote the answer to that one. Okay. To O.J. Simpson, what is the difference between first down and second down? Well, Nicole was first down. Ron Goldman was second down. Comedy. Hey! Why are college kids so disappointed that O.J. Simpson was killed by cancer? Well, because they can't blame Israel for it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's a new one. I wrote that one. Hey, why will Kim Kardashian never live up to the standard set by her father? Well, Kim Kardashian has a big ass and fucked a guy named Ray J. Robert Kardashian was a big ass and fucked the whole legal system. Oh yeah. I feel like Bill Maher now. Here we go. Hey. How do we know that a dying OJ still missed doing car rental commercials? Well, he kept moaning, hurts. I need, can you give me one of those noisemaker things? I mean, the bell's working, but I need something a little more. Or are they all broken? Are they all? That'll do. Thank you very much. Then we have a couple more. Hey, did you know that OJ's father was an African drag queen? Yeah. I wish I used a rubber. And by the way, did you know, this is actually true, that OJ's father really was a drag queen. He was gay, and he came out and he was a drag queen. So, yeah, stable home life there. How did OJ Simpson mature from child to grown-up? Well, as a boy, he did ticket scalping. As a man, he said, hey, who needs tickets? Hey! They just found O.J. Simpson's diaries. Turns out, when writing, he never used hyphens. Just a lot of slashes. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, and not a moment too soon, as David Letterman would say, what made Nicole Brown Simpson the ideal Jewish wife? Well, she stopped moving, but OJ kept penetrating her, and he got off. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, those are OJ Simpson jokes from my sick mind. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is, oh my God, it's 10 to noon already, Eastern Time, here in the Daverhood, where you are watching the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the stream with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my wonderful wife Joyce, and of course, Potato, and all of you, and Chicken, and Pooey. We do have a bit more to do on this program. We've got Friends of the Daverhood, and of course, our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. But before we get to that, yes, it's time to go back, and as we did, well, early in the program, Joyce looked up on her phone the word of the day from Merriam-Webster. The company that puts out all these dictionaries does a thing for branding and so forth of saying, hey, here's our word of the day with its definition. And they do it, I guess, randomly. And so the latest word of the day that they're doing, that Joyce reported, is the word brusque. B-R-U-S-Q-E. I actually need I put my wrong glasses in the wrong glasses thing. Oops. So let me see if I can read this. Where is brusque? I see bruise. I really can't read it now. Hold on, folks. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Brusque. Oh, that's better. What it means is, I mean, you know what it means, but it comes from the French for, there's a plant with stiff twigs used for brooms, the bruscus, but it's from, I guess, Latin. Curt, and my name's not Kurt, blunt, abrupt. So like a curt answer, a blunt answer, a brusque answer. Synonyms include gruff, bluff, and crusty, and short, but not short like me, short like my temperament. So, yeah, that's brusque. my job as part of Dave's Big Dictionary is to talk just off the top of my head of whatever brusque makes me think of. Extra, tell all about it. It's Dave's Big Dictionary. So basically, the first thing that comes to my mind is that this thing that I can't avoid of turning brusque when I've gotten what I need from somewhere, and then it's still going on, right? This is the thing, because usually when you're calling somebody or you want something, it's like you're friendly. It's like, hey, I'm fine. How are you? How are you, Mr. Leftovers? And then you're waiting, and you're like, you've been on hold, and then soon as the actual transaction of what you need has taken place, it's meaning like, get me the fuck out of here, right? So we talked about this earlier. I called up a couple of different places this week to request that they unscrew me. So one of them had to do with the bills that were coming from Synchrony Bank for our furniture. We did this whole thing. So talking to the woman and and being very nice, because these people have jobs to do. You don't want to make their jobs difficult. You don't want to ruin their day, and you also want their help. You've been on hold. You've been punching in like Mark 2 for this, Mark 3. What is your and the thing that makes you angry immediately is we all know this, the hoops that you go through just through the numerical punching of the numbers to get to a person. Joyce taught me that at a certain point you just go agent, right? No, I don't want to mark 1 or 2 for this or 3 for that. Just as agent. But they sidewind you on this because you can say it, and they say, okay, we'll get you an agent, but first we need to know a little bit more about it. Like, fuck your agent.
Then you say speak to a person.
Speak to yeah. So, but it still takes you about 2 to 3 or 4 minutes before you get to the point of just like, human being, voice, please. And so already, you were going to be in your best mood, and already this circuitous, like, if +9 to return to the main menu. No, agent, and 0 doesn't work, right? So agent, and now a human being comes on the line. You've got to slowly dial back to being sweet and nice, because you want something from them, and it's not their fault that this is the job they have, right? So you get to them, and then you say, okay, here's the deal. I got this paperwork from so-and-so telling me that first of all, is this true? Are you going to start charging me every month for getting bills? And then they say, yeah, but you can avoid it. Okay, how? And I think, thanks for telling me. Can you help me? And immediately they say, well, not really, you have to go on the website. So you realize you've just wasted 5 minutes of your life, because I've gone to the website immediately. Except I did, but in the past I didn't want to re-register.
You're unraveling.
But she's telling me, I could basically, so fine. Just thank you, kindly read me the name of the website, or text it to me. And I went through this earlier in the show. But you're already realizing that you've wasted 5 to 10 minutes of your life getting to the point that you could have started with. So, the wick on my dynamite candle getting lower, but thank you very much. And then they can't just say, well, wonderful, goodbye. It's always like, is there anything else I can, and do we have time for a survey? It's like, go away! But when they're helpful, you stay and you try and be nice. It's like, no, thank you so much. Thank you. When they're not so helpful, or they're pissing you off, it's kind of like, that's the point when, or they send you somewhere where you tell them the trouble, and they tell you sort of how to resolve it, but it isn't resolved yet, and they still keep you on the phone. At that point, literally, brusqueness comes in. At that point, it's like, no, thank you, hang up, without the pleasantry of a goodbye. Because it's some asshole sitting there with a headphone and sitting at this desk, feeding his family, but I don't care. Just you've told me exactly what I need to know. That's sort of the cutoff point. And you can't be brusque with me, because then you'll get yelled at and you'll lose your job. But I can be brusque with you because we're fairly anonymous, even though you have in front of you my name, my social security number, and all of this. You can find me a lot easier than I can find you. Yeah, it's that one moment when I can get my thing back. It's like rooting for OJ to get off. It's that moment when, rightly or wrongly, I'm like, okay, I didn't want to have to call you in the first place, but your company is screwing me over. Let me, thank you, bye. Clicky click. But even when things go nicely, I had to call another bank this week because I noticed that we were suddenly getting finance charge. We were getting billed every month a finance charge because we had a balance under the required minimum. They had changed the thing. And I'd never read the fine print, and suddenly, where we were totally fine, now for the past 3-4 months, they were docking us like $12 a month for not having, a sufficient amount. So I'm fuming. I call the bank. I get the guy on the phone, and he's really guy said, because if you go in like, I want to cancel my account. I said, whoa. I said, well, I had this money in here for years. Suddenly it's not enough, and you're taking $12 away fees for nothing. I want to cancel my account. So, okay. And then he immediately deducted, gave us back the fees. And said, but here's the deal. If you want to get more fees and you don't want to close the account, put in enough money so you hit, and it's not a lot of dough. So I was like, well, okay, can you talk me through that? And he talked me through it, as opposed to just sending me to another website where I have to do and because I had to set that up. I had to go from bank to bank to do a transfer. So I'm always at low boil, medium boil on these things, simmering. But he talked me through, and he was great. And he saved us like $50-$60 by giving it back to us. He showed us how to keep a bank, because I don't like closing bank accounts.
Yeah, but David, your ulcer will be like now.
But even towards the very end, when he had helped me out, and he kept me from closing the account, because I would have.
You know what I wonder? I wonder if the service people get so much because one woman was telling me she worked at a medical center, and she was telling me someone laid into her because they couldn't get their doctor, and she's like, I'm answering the phone,
right.
They're not here, I can't do anything but take a message or do something. And I think sometimes when they get someone who's not hostile, they want to keep you on so that they don't get the next. This is what I think.
Wow.
This is what I believe. I mean, this is just my own.
No, I love this. Yeah.
If you're on the phone with someone and they're okay, right? They're trained to chit chat you, but then I don't have to deal with the next person who might yell at me in profanities and be hostile.
Yeah, you dread the next call.
If they're trying to just.
Well, no, I think they're on a script, and the script ends with, "Can I answer any more of your questions? We really want to thank you for your patience."
Yeah, but that's okay. That's not bad.
And he goes, "Okay, but I don't want to listen to it."
Yeah,
I'm like, "Thank you. You helped me so much. I've got to run. Great talking to you. Thank you very, very." I mean, usually I'm grateful because they've helped, but at the same time, I don't need to. No, I don't have no other questions. I'm great. I'm good. Well, you have a great afternoon. You have a great afternoon too. Go away.
You know what you say is say thank you, goodbye, and that's
But even that's brusque, because you're still being like,
thank you for your help. I appreciate it, but I really need to go.
Even if I'm saving 10 more seconds.
But also, you're passive aggressive. You can't end anything. You can't end a Zoom meeting. You can't end your show. You can't end a conversation. You're passive aggressive.
Oh, well,
you just say, I need to go now. Bye bye.
That's brusque.
No.
It's sort of telling the person.
I need to go.
Yeah, which is what you do. But there's a way of saying it. No matter what I do, it's going to come out like, well, thank you so much for your help. Have a great one. Bye. It's still, you're being polite, but there's a brusqueness to it. You're not meaning it. You just want to get off the phone and save 5 seconds of talking to the stranger unnecessarily, because anything you need to know or do is done. And that's brusque. And
well, I'll be brusque. Tell me what you want do you want a bagel later?
What do
you want, baby?
Well, are we shopping or what are we doing today?
I think we'll do that tomorrow morning.
So.
We got to make the list and stuff. We could just do the bagel, the agua y madre.
All right, fine. So then my usual.
Okay.
Toasted dark. You figure it out.
Tell me, when should I place it?
Well, we have friends in the Daverhood and Limerick, and then we'll go out. So I would say place it for at least 12:30, but we can do 12:45.
Okay, so I'm not doing it now.
Oh, all right, yeah. Oh, they don't have. You can't do a time thing. So yeah, wait another 15 minutes when we close in the show, and then put the order right in, and we'll go. Okay, because it is noon. It is noon Eastern time, ladies and gentlemen, here in the Daverhood. You're watching the 939th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebook Podcast Programmio of the Stream with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my wife Joyce, and all of you there watching. So yes, if you've been waiting patiently for the Colorado Limerick of the Damned, that is coming up in just a couple of minutes. But first, even though we did not have a special guest on the program today, I mean, we have Rabbi Saul Solomon, but he's special in the short bus kind of a way. A lot of times on the program, we do have well-known people, celebrities, people who are great creative folks or writers, and they're friends of the Daverhood. If they've been on the show, we consider them like family and friends of the show. And we like to tell you what they're up to in the months and years, even after they've been on the program. You know, keeping tabs on them. We're proud to have had them on the show. What are they up to now? And that is why we call them and this segment the Friends of the Daverhood. So, how are our friends doing in the Daverhood? Well, first of all, gotta give some kudos to Charles Bush, the actor and director. Now, just through tomorrow, you have a chance to catch Ibsen's Ghost. Very, very well reviewed. His latest show. You know, he is toasted everything. You know, the usual. Literally the usual.
Because usually get garbage.
Charles Bush wrote and stars in his new play. It's called Ibsen's Ghost, and it's at 59 E59 Theaters, which is on 59 East 59th Street in Manhattan. If you want to read David Short's review of Ibsen's Ghost, you can find that on TotalTheater.com. He liked it a lot. And Bush is a kind of quite a brilliant writer. And he's also a great drag performer. Well, he's not doing drag like your RuPaul kind of shit. We're talking about really doing character work. And go see it. It's Ibsen's Ghost, and you have just this weekend to catch it off Broadway at 59 E59 Theaters. And then tomorrow, hey, Clea Blackhurst is going to be performing songs by Vernon Duke, and that is happening at Chelsea Table and Stage over on West 26th Street. On, let's see, this would be Tuesday, Daryl Roth is co-producing the film version. They're going to have a screening of it, Accidentally Brave, and that is happening at the Directors Guild of America on West 57th Street. Now, Accidentally Brave was staged a few years back, and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the actress's name, but she's an actress and writer, and she's married to her husband for many years. And everything's fine until turns out her husband has been surfing and also trading child pornography. And she has to deal with this as a wife and mom. So what happens? She did it as a monologue off Broadway, about 5 to 8 years ago. Apparently Daryl Roth has turned it into a film version of Accidentally Brave, and that is being done at the Directors Guild on West 57th Street. On the day after that, April 17th, Zalman Mlatek is doing a talkback after, they're doing a play called Address Unknown at Town Hall. And on April 17th, Zalman Mlatek is going to do a talkback after it. And the play features Yevgeny Kissin, who is a very well-known classical musician, but I guess he's appearing in this because it has to do with Russians and Jews and stuff like that. Also, the same day at 5 o'clock, David Spencer. He has been a book writer and I think lyricist for the theater. He was on our show many years ago. And he's since turned essentially a novelist. And he's written a book recently about other people who've been theater people who've become novelists. Well, a few of them, including David, are going to be at the Hotel Edison live, where they're doing a podcast. And that is 5 o'clock on April 17th. And then on April 18th, the Thursday, it is the 37th anniversary of the off-Broadway play Perfect Crime, featuring Catherine Russell. She has been in it from the very beginning. She is still in the show. And that is taking place at the Bernstein Theater Center over on West 50th Street, the 37th anniversary. And they still do it. They do it like 5, 6, 8 times a week. You can go see it, but you can see the anniversary staging on the 18th. Same day, same Thursday. Oh, go to City Winery in Manhattan, because Matthew Sweet, the great songwriter and a really good guitar player too. He is going to be there this Thursday night at City Winery. And then starting on Thursday and running through mid-May, it's Jill Eikenberry in a play called The Two-Hander that is being done at New Jersey Repertory Theater in New Jersey. And then this Friday, the 19th, Melissa Errico will be at Landmark on Main in Port Washington, New York on Long Island. Playing now through early May, unbelievable. Speaking of, this is late May, Marilyn May. She is 96 years old, just celebrating her birthday, and she is at 54 Below now through May. Is it really? I don't think it's every day. I mean, you gotta check, maybe it's once a week or something, but check that out. Also playing now through early June, the off-Broadway show A Sign of the Times at New World Stages is directed by our friend Gabriel Barry. Lilias White is on Broadway in Hagestown. Alan Menken's music can be heard in both Aladdin on Broadway and Little Shop of Horrors off-Broadway. Seth Bisson-Hirsch hosts his talent showcase at Don't Tell Mama, and that is on Tuesday nights. Also on Tuesday nights at the Algonquin, you can catch K.T. Sullivan. And then Tuesdays at Birdland, it's Eric Comstock and Barbara Fasano. Monday nights at Birdland, it's Vince Giordano and the Nighthawks. And then, of course, Jim Caruso's Cast Party every Monday night at Birdland. Get your tickets for all these events at birdlandjazz.com. And then running Tuesdays through Saturdays at the Roxy Hotel in Tribeca, it's Michael Garin at the piano. I want to remind you that Evan Seplow is the editor and founder of StageBuddy.com. Dr. Demento still doing new Dr. Demento shows at drdemento.com. And what else? Also want to let you know that Leslie Hoban Blake and Charlie Gross host the theater review program Two on the Aisle, and you can watch episodes and clips from episodes on YouTube, so go see that. We mentioned David Sheward before, giving a shout out to Vicky Quaddy, who does Are You Smarter Than Your 8th Grade Nun and Late Night Catechism over at the Greenhouse Theater in Chicago. And last but not least, although he passed almost 2 years ago, I can't believe it, Gilbert Gottfried, if you go to his podcast website, you know how I keep the archives of my show here, you can listen to Gilbert Gottfried's amazing, colossal podcast, literally from the very first episode all the way up, and they're fun, and they are funny. Just listen to the first episode this week, where the guest was, how am I blanking on this? They were talking about, one of my best guests ever. Gilbert had him as the first guest, Dick Cavett. So of course they talked about Groucho and they talked about old performers, and they had a lot of laughs because Cavett is as funny as anybody, except Gilbert Gottfried. So together they're quite magical. So check that out. It's Gilbert Gottfried's amazing colossal podcast. He has passed, the genius has not. And those, my friends, are the friends of the Daverhood. Thank you, Ludwig van Beethoven. Well, yes, we've done so much. We didn't even have a guest, and we've run over 3 hours because so much to talk about. We had our big dictionary word, brusque. We had our Greeley Times. We showed you my bunions. Wow. We had Rabbi Saul doing story time. I mean, and some jokes about OJ. Now it's time for really the most depleted and disgusting part of the show, our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. This is because Joyce and I lived in Colorado, and I got it into my head to write an evil limerick poem about as many places in the wonderful state of Colorado as I possibly could. And some of them came easy, and some of them came not so easy at all, but I'm still finding some new ones as best I can, and doing a new one every single week, and trying to keep that going as long as I'm able. So we do have a new place this week for our Colorado Limerick of the Damned.
You're the poetry man.
A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme, and likewise verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick.
Rocky Mountain, Colorado, 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 Colorado.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. We do it every week here in the Daverhood. It's a short poem, a tasteless poem, because it's limerick form, 5 lines, and we do it about a different place in Colorado every week. So this time we go to Able, Colorado, because we're able. Able, Colorado, which if you look for it on a map, you won't find it, because they call it an extinct town. It's even more than a ghost town. It's extinct. It doesn't exist anymore, but it used to. It's in southeastern Colorado in Bent County. Couldn't be more appropriate for this show. And was founded in 1924 as the Martin Railroad Stop. And then they named it Able for whatever reason. Really can't find much information about it at all. So now we're going to put it back on the map, ladies and gentlemen, because I've got a poem about it. This is our Colorado Limerick of the Damned for Able, Colorado. A gambler who looked like Clark Gable was spotted card counting in Able. To punish his cheating, they gave him a beating and stapled his nuts to a table. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, please send your comments and complaints and your issues to davesgoneby@aol.com. davesgoneby@aol.com. I can't write back to everyone, but I do read everything. If you message me on Facebook or post on our Facebook page under one of our shows, I'll try and give a thumbs up if I can. But love to hear your thoughts, love to hear what you like, what you don't like about the show, your suggestions for the program, or even just, as I said, an emoji or thumbs up is great to hear from you. So davesgoneby@aol.com. Don't forget that I also have a Twitter feed, Radio Dave 2. It's Radio Dave and the number 2. We have our Instagram page. Yeah, David.Lefkowitz, spelled like my name. All basically the way of getting you to come back to the show every week or tell people you know about the program, share parts of the show, just to enjoy us every Saturday morning here in the Daverhood on Dave's Gone By. And so that concludes our order of business.
I'm going to see if anyone wrote you.
Oh yeah, check our Facebook before we
I
go.
don't think we should get bagels because they don't have any wheat bagels. It's all white bagels.
Oh, then we'll do something else. We'll do Mission.
Yeah, we should. I could use the yogurt. Yeah.
And we'll shop. We'll shop together. We'll get it done. We don't have to do it tomorrow. What?
I could use yogurt. Hold on.
Oh.
You look so happy in that.
Yeah. Well, I just thought of Mission Barbecue.
Oh wow, a lot of people like your thing. So your I Feel Victorious is Devin Fullard, Janelle Sullivan, Aunt Bonnie, Noreen, Sterling, Paul DeLitt, and David Sheward.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
So a lot of people, like I put, David is feeling delighted, and then I put I Feel Victorious. Apparently they like that.
Well, to quote Jill Sobiel,
Yes.
underdog victorious.
Woo!
So I'll probably have a bunch of failures to recount next week. But this week, this was a week of some successes. I was very,
and
very...
I wrote a commentary thing from you saying bunions. Which somebody loved, so apparently your bunions are getting some love.
As well they should.
Yes.
As bunions don't get the love.
You should have your Aunt Bonnie, who had a traditional bunion thing on your
And my
show.
Aunt Esther.
Oh.
Esther she had horrible buniectomy.
You should have them to talk about, maybe you could have them on and the doctor to do like a panel.
Actually, but visually, it would just be our naked feet on the camera. Because they don't have bunions anymore. Theirs were corrected.
They could send photos and then make their zoom. They could make their zoom image just
a bunion,
yeah,
or a foot, or a foot corrected.
Yeah.
That this was before they had, what was it, lip.
I don't know the name, honey. They didn't.
What
have
was the
that
thing?
one.
What was the surgery? Lapranectomy.
They didn't have that.
Yeah, no, but no. This is. Oh boy, such a great show, such a fine time. Got to thank my wonderful and darling and adorable wife Joyce. Got to thank Potato for everything. Got to thank Mel. Oh yes, it's time to remind you. No, we have a guest. We do have a guest coming next Saturday, April 20th. So yeah, I won't be stoned, but feel free to because it's 420.
Who is it?
But it's going to be a writer about the theater and also an actor and playwright named Bob Spiotto, or it's probably Bob Spiotto, Spioto. He's going to be going around Long Island and playing these different historical personages in his one-man show through April and May. So it's Bob Spiotto. He's going to be on this program as our guest, talking to Rabbi Saul Solomon, next Saturday, April 20th, when it will be the 900 and 40th. Wow, I get to take off two numbers. The 940th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the stream. So until then, don't miss, or I should say maybe, don't, here we go. Don't miss your Dave's Gone By. Have a wonderful week. Get yourselves ready for Passover and stuff. Enjoy springtime and spring weather. And gone by!